Are you ready? What?
What is going on? Happy
barrel
debut day.
Happy birthday. Still Austin single barrel pick from 21090. You beautiful thing, you. Oh man, what a day. It's been a long day for us. It's been a long day coming.
It's been a long few months. I did not realize everything that goes up into this. I mean, from when this little journey started back in March to coming to fruition now at the end of August, kiss in September. Yeah, but all worthwhile, as we are so happy to finally be able to bring to you guys our debut picks. Of course, we're going to be talking about that tonight. Amongst other things we're going to be talking about. Jimmy, thank you. Jimmy, you guys.
Yeah, Jimmy said that I guess he wasn't. I saw that he posted he was able to order one from Arkansas. I didn't know. I mean, Arkansas was always on the good list for Shared Pour. So,
yeah, no, that's awesome. Speaking of which, Jay West from Shared Pour will be here with us tonight. Actually, I think I just saw him pop in the basement, so we'll pull him up in a few minutes as well. We may have some guests from Still Austin coming on. They have a big dinner tonight, so they're hoping that they get out of dinner.
The boss called a big dinner.
Boss called, and Nancy and John and Christian like, we gotta go to dinner, and then hopefully we can jump on. So we're crossing our fingers to see if we got them on. But hopefully, Tech's a little behind us. They started dinner a little earlier out there. We'll see. We'll
see. Yeah, who knows how?
Either way, things are looking good, and we're excited to have Jay on tonight from Shared Pour. Really cool experience working with him. And before we jump into that, it's the irony of, like we said, for those of you we got to see this weekend at the Summer Jam, the SAG hosted by Mash and Journey at Sagamore was awesome. Our names on two bottles, guys. We've got this beautiful 21090 trifecta rye finished in VDN barrels, which is Spanish orange wine barrels, which is really, really cool. Yeah, so that was really cool.
Well, it's the first time that Sagamore's put out a VDN finish. You know, Sagamore finishes so many different types of rye. They do a ton of finishes and do them really well. We were just honored to be part of this. Thank you to Jason Scott from the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club for including us. We went live from the event. We met so many of you guys at the event. Yeah, it was really cool.
Took lots of pictures, had a great time, signed a couple we was really fun. I mean, we had a good time. The setup was cool. We got to, we met so many whiskey tubers we have not met before.
Yeah.
And
I got put in a headlock.
So
Tim Robertson
put out a headlock, and I said next time hopefully a sleeper pick. But yeah, that was really fun. I don't know what Mike B. If there's any left at the distillery, it's worth the pickup. I will say this. This is the trifecta. Yeah, a little bit of a horse reference there, horse racing with the Preakness here in Maryland, which is also kind of cool. Dusty Dan was in on this pick when I was all hopped up on Oxy. Todd and Dan and Jason slipped on this pick. I did try it afterwards. Was really happy with their selection, but this is a culmination of 3 pallets coming together, and they picked one heck of a good
really
bottle.
Good.
It's really, really good.
It's really good. If you ever had a VDN, it's that chocolate orange, just beautiful bomb, but the rye spice in the back end is just
beautiful. So we might sip on that later, and of course we're going to be sipping on the Pour Some Austin.
Guys, so let's talk about it in the chat. Who's got theirs so far? If you're not a Patreon member, guys, we'll bring Jay on. I know it's selling pretty good. It's not sold out, so there's still opportunity to buy more. We're going to hopefully roll in Patreon for a few days, and then if it's not sold out, I'm sure Jay we'll talk to him. He's going to put it up on Shared Pour, and that won't last long.
It's moving, and it's already, from what Jay told us, the early sales are looking good. So actually, without further ado, I wanted to bring on Jay West from Shared Pour. I can say this.
What can you say, Andy?
Before I even bring Jay on?
Yeah.
All right. Limited time talking with some other whiskey tubers out there who have done barrel picks with other entities who were able to help get the barrel out and promote it and push online.
Yeah.
I've heard some horror stories, and I'm not going to lie to you. Jay has been everything you could ask for and more. Just very kind, very gracious, very responsive,
very helpful too.
Very helpful with everything.
Especially our first pick, right?
We couldn't have been happier to have landed, and took a chance on us too, which is really cool. So without further ado, we are really honored and welcome to have Jay West from Sharedport. Jay, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey guys, can you hear me okay?
You can hear you
loud and clear,
man.
What's going on, brother?
All right. I'm in a hotel in Kentucky, so that's never
there's worse places to be. I mean, come on.
There certainly are. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no, anytime, man. Now we wanted to bring you on to introduce you to the man behind the curtain, to everybody else here who's helped make Sharedport the success it is and helped get us launched with our first pick. And also just say thank you, just again, like for everything you've done to help get this thing off the ground. When we first called you, like, you don't know who we are, but we have an idea. And what do you think? And
we may have thrown Nancy Fraley's name around a bunch of times.
So you'd be amazed at how many of those conversations start that way. It's totally
well, okay, we weren't too far off then.
So he read right through us. No, we appreciate it. We had an idea. We really wanted something to be special for the first time that we did a pick. We needed somebody to take a chance and roll the dice on it. We knew that Still Austin is one of the hottest in the industry right now. And, like I said, Nancy has been very good at guiding us with like where to go and what to do. And we pitched the idea and you're like, yeah, let's do it, guys. So we're couldn't be happier.
Could not be happier. So Jay, real quick, for people that don't know, I mean, I know a lot of the whiskey nerds and I'm one of them too, that, we order from you a lot. So we know what Sharedport is. Maybe real quick before we even get into our pick,
tell us about
tell everybody about Sharedport and sort of what you do and what you're all about.
Yeah, certainly. So believe it or not, I'm actually I'm one of the newer people working on Sharedport. So it's a big team. There's a lot of people owned by the Bourbon Concierge in Georgetown, DC. But really the goal is to give people an easy way to get whiskey that they can't get where they live. And that's how I started my own barrel program, running the Reddit barrel program years ago. Was everyone yes, if we could do 54 roses a year, would we? Absolutely. But is that reality? No. And so the kind of North Star of the program has always been, let us help you find really cool whiskey that has been selected by someone you trust and that isn't available where you are. And we'll make it as easy as we can and compliant and legal as we can. And that's brought a lot of creators together. And it shows me that, the most interesting part of making whiskey content is that people who put the time and effort into making genuine content are also really genuine people when they pick barrels. And that's kind of the whole mantra. So that's why I'm here. That's why you guys are here. You guys got cool whiskey. I get to drink cool whiskey because of you guys. And so I think that I've got a little port here. And so that's kind of the 10,000 foot view. And that's
well, you're being very modest too, because you allow creators like us in the sort of the whiskey tube world that don't have an avenue to do the distribution and sales of barrel picks. You allow us the opportunity to do that. Again, Andy mentioned you took a chance on us because this was our first one, and we had a plan, we had an idea, and you sort of were in on it from the beginning, and now here we are. So again, thank you for doing what you guys do there, and I hope everybody out there appreciates what people like Jay at Sharedport do for us, because there's so many picks out there. And honestly, and Jay, this, you run and I'm on that list that are, you're successful, you're Reddit, and all the barrel picks that you do. And you allow everybody sort of access to those amazing barrels that, you just would not be able to find if you were just going into your local liquor store. So again, I think that's a really cool thing.
Oh, certainly. And I'm happy to make it happen. And I'm happy to find, I love it when folks like you, get in contact with me and say, hey, here's what we want to do. Here's our plan. Here's all the things we thought about, because I guarantee for every email I get from folks like you, I get 100 of people who don't really know what goes into a barrel. And I'm always happy to explain, but no, you guys, I like your setup. It's fun. It's a great bottle. Still Austin's great. Obviously, I've revered Nancy and her contribution to really thoughtful whiskey making for years. And so it was really cool to see it come together.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
So we're hoping that, Nancy does come on later. Unfortunately, we got a call today, Jay, that the whole team has been taken. They're at a dinner for the, of course.
So Brandon Jolderson was there, the head honcho over there. We've had him on a couple of times.
Yeah.
I feel like, I
I
have
think
a cell. I should text
think
and
you
say,
should-
Brandon, what's going
what are you
on,
doing?
man? This is not cool.
So hopefully by the end of the night we have him. If not, though, I mean,
She said she is going to try and hop on.
She is.
As is Justin and Christian, hopefully going to hop on
but that's
too.
not going to stop us from drinking this whiskey right now. So you have some, Jay. Thoughts on Still Austin in general? I mean, I know you've probably experienced a lot of their offerings, and what's your I'm sure you love them as much as us. I mean, I don't know. I've talked to anybody. Actually, no, I should say that. Doing this, we put out a lot of content on Still Austin. There's been one person saying that Still Austin's trash. At the bar he goes to, no one drinks it. Swear to God,
There's
that was the
always that
comment.
one guy.
I said, well, what bar is this? Make sure I never go into it, because I just don't understand how you could say that.
You know what, though? Hey,
I swear to God, it's a true statement.
Let's be honest, okay? Different strokes for different
I
folks.
said to each his own. I said to each his
someone
own.
out for everybody that loves, beautiful French wine. There's someone who thinks White Zinfandel from Sutter Home's better. So it's all right. it is what it is, and you do what you do. Like you gotta whatever. But I think the majority would be the ruling party here and say Still Austin's pretty damn good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
All right, so Jay, we've had it. Our viewers have heard us talk a lot about this. We opened it up last Tuesday night. We were on live Friday night at the Mash and Journey event. We had a bottle there. It went very quickly. What are your thoughts on it? What do you get? Let's hear from you what you think before we kind of bias you.
Certainly. I mean, Texas whiskey is really interesting, and it's very divisive, and it's only very polarizing. A lot of people have opinions, and for the longest time, I wasn't a fan of Texas whiskey myself. And recently, it's something. The climate is really difficult to manage, and a lot of folks, I think, are making whiskey and trying to make it as old and as dark as possible, or as old tasting. Like the more tannin influence, the better. And I don't think. I think that you can have too much tannin too soon, and I've seen that a lot in a lot of brands that come from Texas. And really, Still Austin was the first. They kind of convinced me that if you're really mindful of how you're making whiskey, and you really have an idea of how you want the product to be tasting and how you're going to manage that, you can make a very good whiskey, and it doesn't have to be very old. And recently, Balcones has changed my mind too. Like some of the early stuff was very, I don't want to call it rough, but it was very boisterous. It was very powerful in a way that I didn't really enjoy. And since then, I think they've kind of picked up that same nuance that Still Austin is doing. But I love what they're doing. I think, doing the most of that thing you're trying to do often isn't the best strategy. Like we've all had a sextuple IPA like that one time, and you're like, okay, like never again. So I think Texas whiskey is a lot like that. And Still Austin has shown like you can make a good whiskey that's nuanced and complex and fun and interesting, but you have to be very mindful of how you make it. And clearly that's why Nancy's involved, because she's as mindful a whiskey producer as I can think of. And I call her producer, even though she's a blender, but she's, a taster, and she's certainly, she's working with them at every step of the way, and
especially
clearly
with
it super shows.
Yeah, and the slow water reduction that they do there at Still Austin, that sort of plays into as well. I'll never forget the first time I ever had a Still Austin, Jay. It was I was in Total Wine, of course. Here in Maryland, we can't get Still Austin. So, however, Total Wine you can. And I remembered you mentioned something about Still Austin. I don't know what it was, and I was walking through there, and I found the cask strength, Jay, on the shelves for $49. Which I think is a freaking steal. And it had a coupon because it was a Spirits Direct for another 15% off. So I paid like $45 for this, Still Austin cask strength. Got it home, didn't know anything of it. And he's like, oh, open that up and see how it is. It's supposed to be amazing. I'll never forget. I drank it. And I said, I can't believe that it's amazing. He said, can you believe it's a 2-year whiskey? This was a couple years ago. So when they first came, a 2-year whiskey that tasted to me, if I would have guessed it, this was, a great 6-7-year-old bourbon that had tons of flavor. Certainly not any of the Texas notes you were talking about. It just was, it blew my mind. And ever since, we were hooked.
Well, yeah, I thought they were a hidden gem the first time I tried them. I remember you calling about that because Balcones is funny because I enjoy their stuff too, but I think they felt a little, it's almost in the beer term. We're big beer guys, crafty. You could feel that youthfulness, that earthiness, that graininess was still kind of coming through. Garrison Brothers, I thought was a pretty solid pour, but it was ridiculously overpriced in my book for what you were getting. So you had the struggle of this Texas whiskey balance. And here's Still Awesome with their 2-year bottle. The musician just comes out and you're like, wow, this is really, really damn good. And it's affordable.
Yeah.
But the one cool thing about Nancy's involvement too, like you said, is, and we talked to David DeFazio from Wyoming Whiskey too, because she's very actively involved with them too. She doesn't want to work with the big boys. She wants to take small operations and she wants to help guide them in a direction where they're going to be successful. She's going to put her name on it. She's going to be good. It's not, if it's not up to my standards, I don't want my name on it. I don't want to be involved with it. So she's very selective, which I think is awesome. So when Nancy said, "Hey, you're going to Still Austin, you may want to take 2 lefts or right and look 2 floors up on the Rick House."
Yeah,
I was like,
she did say that.
Noted. Like,
we actually have that down where to go.
So she kind of,
we're not sharing that with everybody.
I'm not saying exactly where I went, but she gave me a little bit of a guided map.
Jay,
cool.
when you go down there, we'll give you the goods. I'm sure we'll give you the floor plan from Nancy. But I think we'd have to they'd have to kill us to get that out from anybody else. Only Jay can have that information, I think.
What I hear is that I need to try every barrel on the second floor. Okay.
That's right. There you go.
I can submit myself to
the
that.
funny part about this, Jay, is when we were going down, or Andy went down there, it was our first ever barrel pick. So we had never done this process before. We've seen things do it. We've had barrel picks from other whiskey tubers and, that we've sort of been affiliated with and drank, but we had never gone down to rick houses and drill. We'd been to breweries a lot. So we were in the beer background, but I'll never forget. You said the first one you went through, you're like, I didn't love it. It was like, and I didn't, you were like, listen, we're there to be guests, but you're like, I didn't. And you're like, the first one I did, I said, that's not for us. I was like, you way to go, man. You got to do that though, right? I mean, because that's what you're there to do. You're not just there to take what they drill. You're like, that's not what we want.
I got the whole like jitters of the very first one. I was lucky. And what the other thing too was the very first one that he drilled was the Bottle and Bond,
the red corn whiskey.
He said, let's try this first. Well, he started off with a winner. That thing was just fire.
Have you tried that, Jay? Their red corn Bottle and Bond?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that and the rye they've been rolling out.
Yeah.
So yes. So you tried the cash strength they rolled out?
I would need to check back. I don't.
You try so much whiskey, I know.
I
love the regular rye.
Whiskey critic, right?
Yeah, the regular rye they have is amazing, and they just released the cash strength version of that, and we're waiting for our bottles, aren't we?
It's coming. But yeah, this was actually the first one. I'll pull it up here for 2 seconds, but that's the red corn Bottle and Bond. So there's John. He's pouring that. That's the very first sip that I got a chance to taste when I was at Still Austin, and I was blown away. Just the nose, the palate, everything on that was just insane. I was like, ooh, I'm going in for a treat today. And then when we tried the first one, like I looked at John, I said, I don't think this is it, man. I said, and it tasted very much like a very prototypical Still Austin, which typically is great, but it's like you want something a little bit different. This one was so off profile in a good way that we instantly fell in love with it. And I was like, I got to bring this one back to Todd. So anyway, if you've got it, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on it? Let's get into this.
You're the expert, not us.
I just looked back. I had the Bottle and Bond. So you guys are one up on me. You've had the cat strength.
We'll bring you a sample.
I like the shop in Georgetown. We'll come back.
Well, hopefully maybe it'll be on Shared Pour one. We'll get it on Shared Pour. Do you have Still Austin on Shared Pour? Any of their offerings?
We don't now, but I think it's clear that we probably should get that done. Yeah.
There we go. We're going to change that. Anyway. All right. So let's talk about our barrel. Again, one of the things we loved about this, it was slightly off profile for what you would expect. And we were kind of looking for something unique. I mean, Jay, you've done probably thousands of barrel picks, correct? So let me ask you this before you get in that. What do you look for when you're going? Well, actually, my first question is, how better is it to go to the rick houses to drill and sample and I know you can't do that all the time. I'm sure you've been sent samples. What's the difference there? So when we talk about that, help our audience understand what the difference there is. Like, what's the benefit or the cons, I guess?
Certainly. I mean, so depending on the producer or the size of the distillery or just kind of the program, like sometimes you'll get like 2, 3, 4, 5 samples in the mail. And those are things that have been tasted, hopefully, and vetted, and they've decided like, this is okay to send out to someone. If they pick it, we'll give them that barrel. And I think that that's totally fine. Like sometimes you just can't get there, right? Like if, it's down in Texas and I don't have any other reason to be to Texas and I have somewhere else and I still want to pick the barrel. Like I don't want to make it sound like, oh, well, you have to settle for this thing because it's very much not settling. But when you're in the rick house, usually they'll be like, well, here's the 5 barrels we're supposed to show you, but also like we should drink this one over here and we should drink that one over there. And then everyone's drinking and then like, let's go drill this thing. And you might get to try some barrels that maybe aren't available to pick in the program. Like, because distilleries put X amount of barrels of a certain type in their program and say like, these are candidates, but like if you're at a distillery, they might be like, hey, you should try this new thing we're going to release in the fall. Like you can't pick a barrel of it, but we just love for you to try
Yeah,
it.
right.
So for me,
Yeah.
it gets you more touch time. It gets you more face time with the people who are behind the whiskey every day. And that's what I think is really cool. And generally, I won't say it's true across the board, but like generally you just get to try more whiskey. And when you're trying to find like that one specific barrel, it's always, it's cooler to try more whiskey. And that's why, like, I tell people when I bring them on picks for the first time, like you should spit all day until like you think you found the one you love.
You did not. You made that mistake. Rookie mistake, Andy.
There's always one. There's always
Andy was
one,
the rookie.
you know?
He's like, he called me. He's like, I probably shouldn't be driving right now. He's like, we're in Texas, right? What happens?
that aside, it was definitely an experience. 'Cause you're right, because I got to, like you said, the red corn. Then I got to try the blue corn. That's not going to be coming out until was it spring? I think they're going to release
the blue corn spring.
Winter.
No, the winter is the high rye bourbon.
So the spring. They also had a cool port finish to let me try. Like, you got to try this white here. So I got to do all that. But I think you're right. The FaceTime is great because you do start to build relationships. I mean, after that, we went out to lunch. Like, I was supposed to be working. Like, you want to?
Yeah. So Andy was there for work. So you're right. He did not have he did have a reason to be in Austin, and we just made it work. But the other thing is, you're right. You sampled, I think, 8 different for us and brought back 5 for us to then select from those 8. So you're right. We probably would have only gotten sent 3 or 4, I guess, that they selected. You then also went to a different part of where the barrel program, and you went into Nancy's sort of stash, and John drilled for you, and you then brought back 5. So that was the benefit of doing that.
Yeah, it was definitely worth the trip. Yeah, and the experience too. It was great. So,
all right, let's talk about. I'm so eager to hear what you think about this because we've talked about it ad nauseum. And so me and Andy are like, we love hearing. So we went Friday to an event and had a bunch of people tell us different things about it. They all really liked it. What do you see in this single barrel, Jay? I mean, there's still some available via Share Pour for our patrons for the next few days. I don't think it'll last long, especially once you put it out to the general public. What do you see in this bottle?
Right. I mean, this is quintessential Still Austin. And that to me, I think is about the best praise that I can give it, right? Like it's all the things that I love about Still Austin that are maybe turned up to like 11. And so it's got those big cola notes. It has that barrel char that's not grating or really tannic, but like you can tell it's there. And it's got like this big brown sugar kind of red cherry note. Still Austin for me is interesting because so many of them are just like they're so bold on the nose. They're so bold right on the palate. And then they have such like a sweet, and like people hate when people say this, but like it has a super smooth finish, right? Like it finishes super clean, it's super easy. And that makes it really easy to be like, cool, I'm pouring another, and I'm probably gonna pour another, and then I'm gonna pour another. Cause like those whiskeys you drink and they're super bold, but then they just have a ripping, punishing finish. And you're like, okay, actually, like, no,
I'm done.
Like better senses need to prevail. I'm gonna go to bed. And this doesn't have this at all. In fact, like I've made a good dent. Believe it or not, I was traveling all of last week. I only had like 2.5 days with this bottle at home before I did get on the road again. And like I made a much bigger dent in that bottle.
There you go. I love it. That's a compliment, I'd say. There you go.
That's the best endorsement I got. But that's char like cola character is so.
So we said cream soda, a lot of cream soda. That cola, we were getting a cream soda, vanilla pudding, and then you're right, barrel char. I think there is some rye, spice, black pepper on the finish. That's sort of sweet and spicy. It's just a really, really nice bourbon.
Yeah, I like everything they do, and I was really happy. Like obviously you guys picked this one, but whenever I see something really interesting, I got to grab a bottle for myself. I'm glad that I did because this is like it's Still Austin 211, and so you've tasted Still Austin before. If you haven't, guys, like I think you should totally check it out. But if you tasted it and liked it, like this is it, like up a level. So I think it's a great pick, and a big congratulations to you guys on your first one.
Thank you. How are sales going, by the way? We still have some left, right? I mean, but it's going well, right?
Yeah, let me check. I mean, you guys were well through half of it, I want to say, this afternoon. So
there you go. There you go. So, and there was a lot in this yield. So we're hoping to get as many to you guys. Again, if you're not a Patreon member, and then maybe there's some are out there, the Dirty RC Bar, I'm looking at you. Please think about joining us. We've had a few join today that have gotten bottles. So it's still available. We really want to make this for our Patreon members, and we can only do that for so long until Jay puts it out to the public, and that I don't think it'll last long on the public. A single barrel from Still Austin doesn't last long, I don't think, because it's just not that. It's not. You don't see a lot of them around. Am I wrong on that, Jay?
No, you're totally right. They, I'm looking to do a couple myself, for my own program, but they are. They're one of, I don't want to say they're like tricky to get right. Like it's not like Buffalo Trace where you're like, can I have one? And everyone's like, no. But
Yeah, right.
there just aren't a lot of them in the market, and you guys have been very early in the process for them, and they're starting to do more and more, which is
Yep.
really cool. But
That's
I don't
great.
think they're ever going to be at the place where they're doing tons and tons of picks. So
Right.
it's really cool to see you guys.
So Jay, sometimes
going
it's better to be
early
lucky
on.
than good, is what you're saying, right? I take that mantra.
I think you were
know.
lucky and good. I think you were
Yeah,
lucky and good.
I'll take it.
It was funny because when I approached Brandon for the first time, he's we don't do this. Like this is not something we do much at all, and
especially
not,
going to the Rick House.
Yeah, and
in fact, they had not done that.
You know, and we were like,
Why not?
Sometimes the answer is always no until you ask. Well, why not? Let's go. I'll be out there. Let's do it. Can we get out there? And he's like, sure. I'll set you up with the guys. You can go out there. We'll do it. And it just kind of worked. So yeah, I'll take lucky and good.
Well, I think it's to what Jay's saying. I mean, we have a relationship because of our YouTube channel and having their CFO Brandon on, and then having Nancy on, and then developing that relationship where he said, "Come anytime you're down. Here's my phone number. Call me. I want to hang out with you." And Andy was like, "All right, well, I'm going to be down there in March," and he's like, "Come on." And then it evolved into, well, since we're down there, how about a pick? And then they finally got on board. And we're like, okay, we need somebody to actually. So, and we called you, Jay, and I'll never forget that call to you. And we're like, Andy, this is it. I was like, if Jay says no, I don't know what we're doing.
I was waiting for a prescription in line at CVS for my daughter.
Yeah.
She was sick, and I'm like, all right, Todd, we're gonna dial. We're gonna see what happens here. Turn up the charm. Don't say too much. Let's see what happens. And then next thing you know, Jay's like, yeah, you guys seem to have it under control. We're like,
yes,
but it was awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, and to your credit, guys, too. Like I said, I get calls like this all the time, and a lot of people are like, so we're gonna pick a barrel, and I'm like, cool, what then? And they're like, oh, we hadn't thought about that. And I'm like, all right, like I don't think we're going to I'll help people whenever I can, but. Like you guys had a plan, you had your ideas, like you knew exactly what you were doing and what you wanted to do, and like you just needed something to like get you to the market. And I think that's we help people at Shared Board and Bourbon Concierge. We help people through all of their different stages, but like you had your game plan ready to go, and I think that was cool because I was like, and my wife knows it too. She's like, oh, another barrel call, huh? And I'm like, actually, no, these guys had it. Like we're good. Like I'm not stressing. I'm not sweating. Like.
That's awesome.
It's a brand that I really like, and I wish I got more of. So like this is this works great, and I love to bring that too because like there's a difference between like people who just want a barrel to say they picked one, and creators who like have a vision and hustle and get it done. And you guys are very much the latter there, and I love partnering with people who have a vision and hustle and get it done, and are just like about what they're passionate about. And that's what was cool about me with this pick.
No, we appreciate it because we knew, and it was funny because I remember talking to Todd too. Some of the big boys get picks and they don't sell out, and they have 6 times the subscriber base that we do.
Yeah.
And then some of the smaller ones like, well, that's why we'll only do a short barrel, half barrel, whatever. We're never going to do a full one on our own. And I was like, we're going to do a full one. We're going to do it on our own. And we're like, yeah, we can do it. But boy, does it have to be right. Does everything have to kind of come together?
Everything has to be right.
And then when you said yes, I'm like, great. And I remember calling Christian at Still Austin saying, so what are we looking at for the yield here? Like 180, 170, 160, like about 222. I'm like, oh my God. I was like,
did not expect that.
So it was like, all right, we got more to do, but we're hustling as best as we can. But what the nice thing was, like when we talked about earlier on the show, right before you came on, when we went to Sagamore, we were sharing this with people loved it. They like legitimately like, this is fantastic.
Well, I think the great thing is also, Jay, and you can probably appreciate this, is because Still Austin isn't on every shelf around the country, and it's not easy to get, but people have heard of it. I love the fact that we're exposing people that watch us every day that can't get Still Austin that finally now have a bottle of it, right? That's the cool thing about what we're doing is people in I don't know, Nebraska or, Montana, or I don't know, wherever that you can't get Still Austin.
Or great segue. Thank you to Dirty RC Bar, wherever you are located, for becoming a patron.
Connor White and the Dirty RC Bar are our new patron members.
Brand new patrons.
Guys, grab that. We've got probably now less than around 70 left to go here. So we're selling this thing, guys. I love it. You guys are great. I mean, this is fantastic. So super excited that, you guys have come on. Listen, Jay, we'll probably not do more than 2 or 3 barrel picks a year. That's just we're not in it we want to do unique things and collaborate and stuff like that. And I know we talked earlier today, and what's coming down. We have things working in the hopper. So, but our goal was to do unique things, and I know you're like that with your Reddit group that I just love being a part of. And I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that, not to take it away from our pick, but I think, if people don't know what Jay's got going on in terms of what I love, Jay, is you're not like really making, maybe you are, but I don't think you're making money from it. Like, this is something, a passion for you to do, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, no, you're totally right. So one of these days, like my accountant's really going to get pissed at me because
I thought so.
I operate this program in the red, but I'm blessed to have the privilege. Like I do a bunch of contract work, and I work with distilleries, and I work at Bourbon Concierge and with Shared Pour, and do all that kind of stuff. And I work at Whiskey Raiders. So like, my wife and I joke, like, my job is having jobs, right? Like I have plenty of work to do. And so, people are like, hey, why don't you turn, and for anyone who doesn't know, like, I run Reddit's, r/bourbon barrel program. And, some people too, it's really funny because the conspiracy theories are my favorite. We'll get to that in a minute. But, people are like, why don't you make this paid? Like, why don't you require people to pay for this stuff? And I'm like, it's the last kind of passion project that I have left, right? Like, I work with other people. I have stakeholders in the other things I do, but really, like, this is an opportunity for me to do the thing that I think is most fun. And even though it takes a lot of time and it's very difficult and it just requires a lot of effort and time, like, I think it is ultimately just like, every week of the year, whether I'm, on my honeymoon or I'm in the hospital or I'm doing something, like I am typing furiously to get this program out. But
I've been a part of it for like the last maybe 6 months, and I will test it.
You're not kidding. Anytime. And I was on vacation. I remember a couple times like, hey, Jay, can I switch this logo around? Can I do this? And I'm thinking, I never email anyone this late. And no one should respond to it this late. And Jay's 5 seconds later is like, yeah, dude, we can take care of this. I was like, the man doesn't sleep. But it's been really cool. The bottle's great. The logo came out, is cool. Like, everything about this has just been fun too, from start to finish. Like, this it kind of encapsulated still Austin's kind of cool music vibe, which I think was neat. Yep. Our love of hard rock, classic rock, all that stuff.
That's a good question for Jay. Jay, we have you on here. What type of music do you like? What's your go-to music? Like, what are you into? Come on, let's talk some music here.
This is a great question. I was talking with Ryan from 3 Chord a couple of months ago, and he's like, what kind of music do you like? And I was like, the best way that I can tell you what I like is that, like, I saw a 5 Finger Death Punch with my wife in December, and we're going to Taylor Swift in June, and like everything in between. And like, that's Andy. Like, I'm here. I love it. And I had a great time at both. And so I see a couple
you got
comments
Taylor
there
Swift
too.
Tickets though? Wow. I mean,
yeah, that was an ordeal. We got them last November. We saw them not them. We saw her. The icon, the queen, in June in Minneapolis. And that was, I mean, as far as shows go, like, I don't know what you guys think of Taylor Swift, but like she is like the icon of hustle. I think, like, she played for 3 hours and like 35 minutes straight. And that to me was just like, it was expensive and it was hard, but like that is a showman in a way that I can millions per night, but like
she is close to,
that's the hustle that I hope to have someday.
There you go. What? There you go.
Well, they said her net worth now is around $700 million. They expect her to be a billionaire by.
I would think after this tour, it's got to be more than that.
It's actually,
I mean, come on,
insane. But so look, I got a 10-year-old daughter. I've got Taylor Swift played nonstop.
Yeah, you do.
And Taylor did a collaboration when she was younger with Def Leppard, who's my favorite band. So my daughter loves both of them. We got to see the collab. So we're good on both. If you think the weirdest combination is, I'll say this to you. If you think this is the weird combination of 5 Finger Death Punch and Taylor Swift, I might be able to beat you.
Wait,
because last year we're at the stadium tour with Motley Crue and Def Leppard. I've seen Pantera. I've seen a lot of like hard rock bands. Metallica. Out in Vegas, I had a night off.
Oh God.
I saw Barry Manilow at the Westgate. So I have no shame in whoever.
Barry Manilow. I don't believe you keep.
That's the thing. Like, class recognizes class, right? Like, I've seen everyone from John Mayer to the Chainsmokers, like Deadmau5 to like good talent is good talent. I want to see it all.
Yeah, and Dave wants to know how long before we get a cease and desist for
those poor
Def Leppard bottles.
Right.
Before I get my bottles. We have had a couple of people ask about shipping, how long it takes. I got to tell you, Shared Pour's been pretty fast.
Really good. I know that some of these have already gone out, Jay. Right, so you're getting bottles out.
Yeah, I would expect anyone to order today. We'll see their order ship tomorrow. Anyone that orders tomorrow, we'll see their order ship the day following. And my goal is, if you order on a Monday, it's to your house in time for happy hour on Friday.
Dude,
and like, we can't control everything because
Right.
UPS has their own. They have their own ideas of how business
but
works. But
I've ordered from some other places, and I can tell you that it's not fun calling 3 weeks later. Like, guys, I've got my tracking number and all the stuff, and what's going. And so, yeah, I've never had an issue.
Well, the other thing is, I can get some SharePoor has sent me stuff. Well, we live close, right? We're in Maryland. Like literally, we can drive to Bourbon Concierge, and so we did that the other day. But I can get it the next day. I mean, so you put it out. So when I order something from SharePoor, it's usually once I get the track, like it's been shipped, it's the next day. And I know that depends on where you are. And in fact, some of our Patreon members, actually, Jay, like Bourbon is in Kentucky for a pick with Dusty Dan. They're like, well, crap, we don't want to buy our now because it'll get there before we're back on Sunday. And so we're like, what do we? Yeah, I mean, could they like say, hey, hold our bottle? Yeah. And then is that what they do in the thing?
Yeah, we do that for people all the time. They're going on vacation, they're going on business, they're ordering from vacation. Just reply to your order confirmation and say, hey,
okay,
I'd just like this to be held. The only thing, it helps me out if you tell me when you'd like it to be held till.
There you go. All right. So I will
tell
those
just say, hey, yeah. And I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Like we pay attention to every single order. So if you say, hey, I'm traveling this week, but I really didn't want to miss out. Or even more like, hey, I bought something yesterday and I bought something today and I see that they haven't shipped. We'll just combine it. It's
all right. Well, there's Dusty Dan. Dan,
save you an extra.
Yeah, I know Dan is out in Kentucky as well, and with Bourbon, he texted me, said, I just don't want to. I know I get stuff from SharePoor like literally the next day almost, and so I'm not gonna be home.
I'll see Dan on Thursday. So yeah, hold that package. We'll get you.
There you go, Dan. You can make that order.
Dan's good people. So
he is really good people. There you go. So.
Well, that's a great question, though. I love that about the music. Such diversity there.
Well, hold on, though, Andy. The question is, does he love Def Leppard?
Well, he says he recognizes class. I got to say he's got it.
Well, does he at least like Def Leppard? Please say yes, Jay, because you'll really piss him off and he'll be in a bad mood.
No, I would not.
Yeah, Def Leppard. I mean, not quite the same. I saw Alice Cooper a couple years ago. Like yes. I don't mind throwing it back away.
Yes.
I think that like
Alice Cooper is amazing.
The influence. Live. Yeah, it was such an like. Actually, I think my favorite part of watching Alice Cooper was watching my wife watch Alice Cooper because that was its own experience in itself.
She sounds pretty cool.
I haven't seen Def Leppard, obviously, but I have been considering seeing Metallica when they're at Soldier Field next year, just because I feel like I got to check that box. And so,
you've never seen Metallica? Oh,
well, I haven't seen them live, and I really would like to. And I think that classic rock has like such a place to where I grew up. And
Jay, I saw Metallica with Guns N' Roses and Faith No More at RFK Stadium in DC. It's not even there anymore. Back in I think 1993 or 2. Holy hell! Metallica was amazing. Faith No More was actually amazing. You remember Faith No More?
No, but I can tell you that 93 was an excellent vintage, if you know what I'm saying. Not to take myself.
And then Guns N' Roses didn't come on until like 12:30 at night and pissed everybody off. And so, but Metallica was amazing. So there you go.
That doesn't surprise me.
It was, and I had to leave because the Metro ended at like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. And so like it was a mess. It sucked. It was typical Guns N' Roses bullshit.
I'd love to hear "Turn the Page" by Metallica.
That would be cool.
Well, what's better, Bob Seger's version or Metallica's? That's the question.
I do love both versions. I'm a sucker for the original.
Yeah,
but
it's like Death Punch and Rising Sun, right? Like they're different, but I kind of want to hear both. But.
Although I actually, as much as you're a huge Queen fan, I think I love Stone Cold Crazy by Metallica more than I like by
that's
Queen.
True.
I think that's
I'm a huge Queen fan. I mean, like to me, I just wish. It sucks that Freddie's not around. I would love to see what Freddie would be doing nowadays because of would he have kept his vocal range and his voice well into his like 60s. And he was such a talent. And that band was just, to me, cutting edge and amazing about everything they did. And I think it's just it's a tragedy that what happened. But, c'est la vie.
That's, yeah. Well, that leads me to another question. Put you on the spot, Jay. We do this sometimes. You get to bear with us. If you can bring 3 albums with you, you can only have 3 albums to bring with you to a deserted desert island to listen to. You have your whiskey, you got all the whiskey you need, but 3 albums you want to bring with you, and they can be greatest hits. Well, let's just slide with that. What would you bring?
No, I mean that's a great caveat too, because that's the first place my head went to was like, how many greatest hits albums can I fit on that?
That's right. There you go.
I'd probably, it's kind of tough because it is kind of a cop. I would probably take "Where the Light Is" live by John Mayer, and I know that's kind of a compilation of things.
Are you a fan with him and Dead? Are you a fan of his?
I can't say that Dead & Co. really inspired me the same way that
Okay.
Mayer did, but I think it's just because like he is his own presence.
Okay.
Like I love all the Dead & Co. songs, but I never felt the need to like go and put on pants and spend a lot of money to go see them live. And then, actually this might turn into like a playfully greatest hits. I would take Live at the Gorge by Dave Matthews.
Oh, there you go, Andy. I can't stand it. I don't like Dave Matthews, Jay. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love the band. I don't love his voice. I don't love his.
Yeah.
I love the band's and you mentioned this as well, but I'm not a big. But that's okay. I'm sorry. We can't all agree, right? We can't all agree.
No, I take it right. Like I'm not a Fish guy, right? Like everyone's like, "Ooh, you're a DFB Fish guy." And I'm like, actually, I don't like Fish at all. But
you know who's a big Fish guy?
I grew up near the Gorge.
You know who's a big Fish guy? You know Brian Tracy, right?
Yeah, from Sagamore. Yeah, he's a Fish guy.
Well, he's a deadhead.
Okay. He is. He loves fish
fish too.
Oh my God, he loves
yeah.
fish. Loves fish.
Okay, I'll give that to you. And I think that the third album I'd probably take is a really tough tie. I'd take Good Kid, Mad City, or Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers by Kendrick Lamar. Those three would give me
very diverse. I love Jay. Just I
like that.
You can't pigeonhole people.
No, Todd would have had Kicks.
I would have Kicks, Hotwire, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction, and probably Motley Crue. I don't know which Motley Crue song. Yeah. Anyway, I love 80s rock. So does Andy. Listen. I don't have any hair, but I love hair bands, so it's weird. It's weird. I don't know.
That's fair. I think a really strong fourth follow-up for me would probably be Avenged Sevenfold, not Nightmare.
Damn,
is it called Hail to the King?
Yeah, I'm sure we have some metalheads in the house that would say that.
I love that song, Hail to the King, by the way. It's a killer tune.
I should know
Look
this.
at that.
Like I just typed
Whiskey
in
Wars.
Hail to the
Damn,
King,
Good Kid, Bad City is a killer album from Whiskey Wars. There you go. There you go.
I think what album is
Shout out the Devil. That's right. Thank you, Sam. That's probably what I picked.
It is Hail to the King. Yeah, Hail to the King. So those are my four. You didn't ask for
I love it.
That's my four.
You did great this game. This is great. Some people really struggle with that. You did great.
So my question is back to whiskey, Jay, for you while we have you for a few more minutes, is if you had to talk about sort of what is next and what are some of the up and coming whiskey distilleries, where would you say, like, who should we be looking out for if you could think? I mean, I know you're in this. So what are those distilleries that you're really into that you think everybody should be paying attention to?
Certainly. I think that Woodinville is like criminally underrated. Everyone kind of freaked out when LVMH bought them a couple years ago, but LVMH was like, here's a bunch of money, keep doing the thing you've been doing, which I think is really cool because that's not usually what we see.
Right.
And selfishly, I grew up near there over in Washington State. So if you haven't tried Woodinville yet, I would encourage you to. They have some cool stuff. They have some of my favorite single barrels and LTOs. Beyond that, I do really like, and I promise these aren't all things that like picks have gone live for recently, but like ASW is a really great example of like NDP, so non-distilling producer turned producer. They have the rye. I think they have some cool stuff. And to be fair, and like, I want to be clear, like I was not a fan of ASW years ago. I had a couple things and I was like, neat, but that's not for me. And over the last probably 36 months or so, they've really pivoted, had some really great stuff. And that's what I love, right? Is like, I had the same experience with Starlight back in 2015 to the point where I was like, this is so bad, I will never drink it again. And then 5 years later, I had some and I was like, is this the same Starlight? And they're like, yeah, we totally changed everything because like we had to. And I was like, oh, well, bravo. And, now like, we pick so many barrels with them. They do so many cool things. And so like, I never write off that producer. So ASW is big. Woodinville's really big. I have a really soft spot for Sagamore. We've done probably 5 or 6. I haven't done any in like a year or so, which means it's probably a little bit overdue. And then the Found North boys, if you haven't tried their stuff, it is expensive. But I think that you get every dollar and then more, even though it's a lot of dollars. And so that's kind of my like, if you're even thinking about splurging a little bit,
do it
that
there.
batch 7 is just stupid good. And they could not be made by like more genuine people who actually know what they're doing, right? Like there's genuine people who are trying really hard and they get lucky. And then there's the Taylor boys who are super genuine and know exactly what they're doing. And like, it's clear because batch 3 was a killer, batch 5 was killer, batch 6 was killer, and 7 is just like a new level on top of that. So those are kind of my picks for
7.
for
I think is in my
try.
cart today from shared pour. So I'm gonna have to.
What are you doing? Wait, hey, come on. Hey, can we drive down there again in your truck and
We'll take Todd's Prius next time.
Yeah,
We're not taking my
Prius.
truck next time we go down.
I want one now.
We're just
We thought you and Jay it was going to be like a bit of a. I don't know what we thought.
We pictured warehouse. Like
for some reason we
place,
pictured
like,
warehouse.
Pick it up. We never
Yeah.
pictured going. And then I'm like, this is nice.
We're in
Georgetown.
We're in Georgetown, Andy.
This can't be right. And I was like, oh my god, this is really nice. We're never going to park this piece. So
we found a garage, thankfully, that was very sketchy.
Parking is tricky. Yeah.
Andy had a huge truck, and it's like, what the, Andy, where are we parking this thing?
I was afraid when I saw your truck that you were gonna be like our 50 cases, and I was like, oh, we only got 5.
No, we're not that. We're not that much. Yeah. No.
So the store is a lot like Mary Poppins' purse. Like we have like 1,100 square feet, and we try so hard to fit everything cool inside of it, including whole barrels. But it is definitely
you got a hell of a collection.
I mean, my god,
there's some stuff in there. I'm like, look at this. I mean, it's like half like eye candy, half museum, because you're like, wow, like I want that. I definitely want that. That I can't touch because if it breaks, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's like
right, and it's an interesting nuance to owning the store too, right? Because when people are so conditioned, when you walk into a liquor store and you see Van Winkle for $2,000, like they just assume it's gouging, right? But the thing is, like, you don't see Wheatley vodka, you don't see Fireball in that store. Like we get to take advantage of zero allocations whatsoever. So we buy barrels, and that's cool. A barrel gets me 0 Van Winkle any year. And so as a result, like we buy privately, we buy from individuals who are selling their collections. But like with that comes the fact, like we have to authenticate it, and we have to pay for shipping and taxes. And there's so much work behind the scenes to make sure that if you want Van Winkle 23, or like we have some cool bottles that are a 1 of 1. Like we have a 1955 Very Old Fitzgerald that is a 1 of 1. They bottled 1 bottle for one person. And that to me is just like the epitome of bourbon history. And like, yeah, it's really expensive, but you will never see that at your local store. And furthermore, like when the distributors decide, you know, you're going to need a good, that's what I would say. You're going to need a lot of money. But like,
afraid to sell it because there's that one guy with FU money who comes in and is like, I'll take it. And you're like, well, that shouldn't go to that guy. And you're like, that guy doesn't
Jay's like, hold
that.
on, that guy is exactly who I want to sell it to.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, and fundamentally, like we have customers across the spectrum, right? Like my job specifically, like my job isn't to source the Van Winkle. My job is to do the barrels. That's the thing that I'm good at and really passionate about. But like, we have Craig, our president, and we have a whole staff whose job is to find those types of things. Or when you say, hey man, you know, it's my birthday, I really want to find this bottle, I see you don't have it. It's our job to go and find it. But that takes that takes hours, that takes work, that takes money. But fundamentally, like a lot of people just assume that stores, like we have a lot of brands and we get issued none by the distributors. So we have to go out and find them and pay for them. And those are at a premium. And so like, it's super museum. It's super cool. I like to say that it's our job to have one of everything. And if we're good at our job, we have 2 of everything.
Yeah,
it was a fantastic museum.
Like
the Kings of Kentucky.
Whiskey.
The Kings of Kentucky were like, oh my God, look at that.
I know.
Yeah.
I was drinking a King of Kentucky here in Kentucky just today over at Evergreen. And I was like, man, this is good. I wish I could afford a bottle for myself.
That's so good. Jason, thank you, man. Yeah, Mash and Drum. Great channel.
He said he's looking forward to meeting you in a couple of days.
There you go.
This was their pick. This is the pick that we did that we got to do with Jason.
What an event.
What a great event. We have all kinds of pictures up on our Patreon too of this, but just a fantastic time. Jason and Scotty the Hawk. Very gracious, very humble guys.
Allowed us to.
They're very, very cool people. And, you know, I was giving Jason a hard time. I was like, you know, Scott's got one of those like Morgan Freeman type voices too when you see him in person.
He is. He's good.
That presence. But it was a fantastic time. Beautiful facility. Sagamore's gorgeous. So anybody who hasn't been to Baltimore, it's an absolutely stunning facility. It's well run. The people are fantastic to work with. But Jason and Scott did a great job. The food was incredible. The music was good. The ambiance, the tours, everything they did was top.
You know what I loved about it all though is we met Jay. You probably do this all over. You go. You meet so many people within the community that you see online or whatever, and it's really cool to just meet in person and give them a hug and talk to them and have a pour with them. And that was the best for us because it's kind of the first time we kind of stepped together in a big event like this. And we had food. I mean, it was amazing event that Jason did at Mash and Scott. And we were just glad to be a little part of it.
Funny story real quick.
What?
So this guy comes up to me and he says, hey, Andy, can you do me quick? Can I get a quick picture with you and my wife and Todd? Hey, yeah, sure, no problem. He goes, you're not going to believe this, but we love your channel, but we got married on February 10th, 1990, which you break that down, it's 21090. He said, so we got married on 21090, so we have a soft spot for your channel.
Yeah, I remember. Yes,
I was like, cool. Like, Ty, come on, go get a picture with the 21090 married couple.
We saw them all night.
Yeah, it was. And
21090 is our zip code. We both live in the zip code 21090. That's why our channel.
Yeah,
it's very.
I wondered where that came from.
Is our zip code. Okay. We just spell out the 10.
We're not as clever as Todd looks. So we just
there you go. But anyway, if you guys, I think the Mash and Journey Summer Jam or whenever they're going to have it, I think next year maybe in Kentucky at Bardstown.
Let them talk about it.
Well, they announced it on our show.
I guess you're right. Whatever.
They said so that
nothing's sacred when you tell Todd.
I'm just saying. That. He said it on our live stream Friday. He said, I think next year it's looking like maybe Bardstown. And I'm like, well, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah. So they maybe definitely. But it was great, and Jay, you'll enjoy meeting those guys. They're good dudes, good people.
Here's Eric Desmarius.
Same with Dusty. Dusty Dan's good guy.
Area code names are cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's the fun of the whiskey industry, right? Like we all do this stuff on the internet, and that's really cool because it's accessible. But my favorite part of doing events is just like seeing the people from behind the screen, and I'm super pumped. Get to hang out with Dusty Dan, and Jason and Scott, and Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night.
What the hell's going on? And what's going on in Kentucky? We don't know about, Andy. Something's going on.
I mean, we just decided. I was like, hey, we've been working together for years. Like, why don't we put together just a big pick day in Kentucky, and we'll have a good day. And finally, like I was super glad when I got to see you guys in DC, and I realized like I've been working with some people for years and we haven't met. So like, it was a great opportunity to get together, do some picks, maybe some collab. But yeah,
we live literally.
I'm in DC every couple of weeks. Yeah,
there you go. So you'll see us a lot. Anytime we do a pick, we'll come down and we'll pick up our bottles. So you don't have to ship them to us. We'll just bring a smaller car. I'll drive this time.
We'll take Todd's Prius. So
I pictured the two of you on a Vespa at some point.
Just go, man. Just go.
Just go. 72 sheepdog.
They can park this anywhere.
There you go. I love it. Oh man. So there you go.
Well, Jay, honestly, man,
we don't want to keep you on.
We couldn't thank you enough. You've been with us for an hour. We appreciate you hanging in there with us. Anything else you want to say to everybody? We appreciate, like I said, we appreciate the plug. The bottles are moving. They're moving. Quick.
Let's
so
go, man.
Jump
keep
in there
buying them, guys.
Keep buying them.
It's great bourbon. I mean,
right? It's super good bourbon. I love Still Austin. It rings true that I like to work with people that I like to work with that I think are making good whiskey, and Still Austin are doing it. You guys are great creators. It's super nice to partner with you guys, and thanks for having me. If you have an issue with your order, just reply to your order confirmation. We'll get you squared away. If you want it held, we'll hold it for you, and just tell us when you want it held till. And until next time, I hope that we'll do another pick. You guys will have me again. But it's been a pleasure. Sure. I'm gonna do some paperwork and drink some more Still Austin. But I'm super pumped about this pick, and I wasn't even involved other than the shopping part. So you guys did a killer job picking it, and I think you did
You're more involved than you think. You took a chance on us. We appreciate you, brother. So thank you very much.
Jay, cheers, man. And we'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Jay West.
Cheers, brother.
Of Shared Pour.
Thank you, Jay.
Guys, he's the one who really kind of made this happen for us, because if it wasn't for him, we would not have this out to you guys. And we can't thank him enough. Cool dude. Right?
Class act. He said class act. He was talking about music. Jay's good people. Class act, man. That was, and he really did take a chance on us, which was cool. I think he's being very humble.
I agree.
He says he gets all kinds of calls and stuff like that, and I'm sure he does. But he still could have said, well, I typically deal with, channels who are 3 times your size and they don't sell out their barrels. Why would I even bother taking a chance on you?
Because it's Still Austin.
And I'd like to think it's not just because it's Still Austin.
I think it's because it's us.
I'm not going to, here's where I'm going to puff my chest a little bit and say,
a bald Irishman and an Italian.
Not because of your look. Italian? It's not because of your look, but I will tell you this. We promised that we'd hustle, and we hustled. We did. It's not like
we're not done hustling.
It's not like we sat on our laurels and said, no, we promoted it. We shook hands. We kissed babies. We did
I would say this.
Worked hard.
You guys, our Patreon members, this is why it's being, listen, we haven't sold it all, but we're getting down there. And you guys are what's making this happen.
Low. The fact that I guarantee you, by the time this if it even reaches the public the way it's moving a little bit, it's not going to last long, which is really cool.
It is. It really is. And I can't, so maybe next week, I don't know what we do next week. Now it doesn't. I mean, I don't know what are you laughing at.
I took a chance to subscribe to this channel.
That's true.
Let me tell you something. By the way, I just for purposes of just my own inclinations.
Should I take back his?
No,
that you bought for him?
have.
He wanted to know how much this costs. He owes you money, so I said I didn't.
Oh,
pay
that's
for
right.
It.
I did pay for it, didn't
Yeah, I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, I paid for that for you, Jay.
Jay, text Andy. He'll tell you how much it was.
I could also hand deliver it, Jay, possibly, as I was looking at doing some math where we might be able to meet in a couple weeks.
Oh, Jay, do you want him to personally deliver it to you? Because I'll take it out of the
yeah.
box that it's in right now. That's fine. It'll save me a box. Because
Todd, as you guys know, there's a box storage
in
going around.
Linthicum.
It's been hitting
I've got to
everywhere.
send Eileen boxes. I've got to send Oreo. I've got to send Groovy. I've got to send Mr. Great Shot. I need boxes, double boxes, because they're buying multiples of this pick, and I don't have double boxes. I have singles. I don't have that many singles. So, Joe Graves, Eric Desmarius, Christopher David, my local friends, Dusty Dan. If you have like double boxes from Shared Pour, Steelbacks, whatever, I need them. Again. I need them. I've got to get these orders out.
So what happened was
we
did all this planning on everything, except Todd didn't plan properly on boxes. That's the one curveball that was thrown to him. He didn't plan on the boxes. So if you could help him out, that would be great.
By the way, I think the Orioles have just exploded this game. 8-1.
There we go. That's good. Well, they should. The White Sox are terrible.
Good.
Todd has a box problem.
All right. So I know some people have tried this. So if you can't, what do we want to do? Now, I don't know what we're supposed to. I mean, it's 10 o'clock and we haven't heard from Christian, John, or Nancy.
Hey, it's all right. It's no big deal.
It's not looking good.
We're gonna. It is what it is. They got called to dinner by the
I
boss.
know.
There's nothing you can do about that. You're getting upset. Look, he's upset. Look at him.
One job, Todd. I know. Eileen. Listen, Eileen. You know what? 2 single boxes would work. All right, I'll take single box. Yeah, it's just double the shipping for me. That's okay. It's fine. Are you paying on this, Andy?
You know what I love? It's your lack of a filter. You just say anything that comes.
Well, it's true.
That beautiful little bald dome of yours, don't you? It just comes right out like word vomit.
All right, you know what? I'll do my best. I do have some single boxes. I'll try to get these out.
No, Joe, he doesn't understand that concept. I've offered to go to UPS.
All right, so
Office
there's a couple things here. There's a couple things here. Yes,
Mhm.
okay. So Office Depot has boxes. They're not designed for whiskey barrels or bottles.
Can someone put in the chat what
Jesus
they told Todd
Christ.
last week about that specific whiskey?
We couldn't remember
box
that.
size? We were a little bit
Drunk.
intoxicated.
You know why I was really intoxicated? Friday night.
Every time I see you now,
no,
you're you know what?
I didn't drink Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
That's because you were so drunk on Friday.
You were too.
I was fine.
You were not fine, Andy. You were so drunk that you left my house without picking up your car.
That is not true.
My son woke up the next morning and said, "Daddy, why is Mr. Andy's truck still out of our front yard?" And I said, "The same reason why Daddy's been on this couch all day is because why Mr. Andy did not pick up his car last night." So don't tell me you were okay, my friend.
I did a lot better than you did the next morning.
I did drink a lot.
Yeah, I think
Friday.
you doubled my intake.
I had so much fun at the Imagine Journey. I mean, it was literally Jeffrey Wack was there. We had Jeffrey Wack on. By the way, one of the nicest guys around.
There's Jeffrey right there.
Jeffrey Wack was there. He tried our Still Austin pick,
Mhm.
and listen, it was so cool to see the Turks, to see Jeffrey Wack, to see Tim Robertson, to see
Whiskey Row was there.
Whiskey Row, people we've never met before, and now our old. I mean, it was just
Joe and Kathy Graves.
I got a picture with Dan from the Bourbon Junkie that you didn't like at all.
Oh, hold on. Let me tell you this. This is a great story. So no, I got it. I have to tell this story.
What?
So, Christopher David was there with his lovely wife.
Nina's the best. Nina, if you're listening, you're the best.
Kathy, Sarah, who was a patron of ours, there was about 4 or 5 girls who were sitting in this little group here, just talking with each other. And I walked outside at the hotel lobby and where everyone was outside. And they're like, "Hey, Andy," and they wave, and I come and I sit down, and I grab my drink, and I'm sitting down getting ready to say something, and then I think it was Kathy. One goes like, "That's Dan from the Junkies. Let's get her picture." They get up and they ran. Like
I didn't do that.
I didn't say you. It was the girls, but although you did.
No,
and then
you know what happened?
Let me finish the story.
Ryan
stop talking for a
Enos
second.
threw me into that. She's like, "Come on." I'm like, "What?" I was half shit faced.
I'm trying to finish the story.
Oh, sorry. Good.
You talk a lot too, especially when he drinks. He talks a lot. So the girls get up, all 5 of them. They dart through the door, and I'm sitting there by myself. All the guys around are laughing. Like he either said something inappropriate or he crop dusted all of them because he's sitting there by himself with a glass.
Why were you around all girls?
because Todd, I prefer the company females versus. It doesn't really matter. Not there's
Shut
anything wrong.
up.
So
Shut up.
he runs into so the girls all run in and leaves me by myself. Then I see this picture of Todd's smiling face, all happy next to Dan from the Junkies.
That was very late in the night.
Who clearly didn't know who Todd was.
No, you know the funny thing was, I think I said to him that night, I vaguely remember saying, "We're the idiots to go on at the same time as you." We didn't know who you were at the time because we were like just doing beer, bourbon, and rock and roll.
I'm thinking of what he says.
He's like, "Oh, that's cool, man." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, all right, that is cool."
Like, that was that bald guy I was talking to.
He didn't know who we were. He had no clue who we were. Zero clue who we were.
But I got a picture of Todd smiling with him real big, all excited, all happy.
Yeah, that was a night. That was a night, man. We had that. That was such a good event. Can we have it at Sagamore every year so we can just do it that way?
We could. Well,
I feel like we should have a 21090 Lapalooza, like Lollapalooza, 21090 Lapalooza.
Lapalooza, that flows off the tongue. 21090 Lapalooza.
21090 Lapalooza.
This is why you're not the creative guy.
I think that works.
it's
at Sagamore.
It's the worst name in the world.
And we get everybody to come and we just hang out. Now we're not gonna have food like them, and we're not gonna have Andy. You're gonna have to play guitar.
Todd's gonna buy a couple boxes of Cheez-Its from Costco.
We may do a barrel pick, but that's debatable. But we can all get together and it'd be fun. I think. I mean, what do you think, guys? What do you think out there? What do you guys think? 21090 Lapalooza. What do you think? I think it's that good.
A horrible name.
A horrible name. I think it's great. Guys? What do you think? 21090 Lapalooza.
21090 Lapalooza. I'll get on that T-shirt right now.
What do you guys think? I think it works.
Kathy instantly comes up with a better name, Sagapalooza, which is
Sagapalooza already... starring 21090.
That'll get a lot of people.
It'll get enough.
They rented the whole place out. They'll be like, you guys can have a corner room with 16 people.
There's a Whiskey Uncensored. Jay was just on, said just put, if you want to order our barrel pick, just put in there that hold it till what date, and they will hold it. That's all you need to do. Just basically reply to the confirmation email that hold it to this date, and he will hold it to whenever you say.
We could do that. We could do Toddapalooza.
Well, that sounds even better. Who said that?
Jimmy. Jimmy's creative.
Jimmy is creative.
21090 Palooza. That's such
Toddapalooza.
That's a terrible thing.
I don't know, but
I like 21090.
I think we should do some type of get together. It won't be anywhere near like there. I was very moved by this event. Not that we have,
but you'd have to put it on. You couldn't sit there and just drink. Jason and Scott were hosting.
Yes.
They were
so
putting on.
That's the thing.
I don't think you'd want to do that.
I don't want to do that. I just want to get together with people that I love.
Want to get together.
Yes, I love the fact after we get done our show that I could just hang out with everybody. That's what I want to do.
What you see though is what you get with Todd. He is like this all the time.
I mean, Jeffrey Wack. Yeah, 21090 Fest. Perfect. Jeffrey Wack. He's exactly right. It can be anybody. It doesn't have to be us. Bourbon Fest, starring Hello Again Whiskey Friends, 21090, and whoever. Let's just get together. Deathless Dogs. Let's just do something. Todd's Fest. Todd's. Come on now. I mean, I think we could do this. Oh, I got to make RC.
How about instead of...
Hold on. He's a Patreon member. The Dirty RC Bar is a Patreon member. They have to be a moderator now.
Oh, that's right. You get to be a moderator and you get Todd's social security number every time you...
Whatever. Everybody has it already. It doesn't matter. As a monitor.
Yep. Random hotel lobby.
Who else joined?
How about instead of Lilith Fair, we do Todd Fair?
No, I want 21090. No, this is not me. This is us and everyone here. It doesn't even have to have 21090. I just want to get together.
Todd Fair.
I thought it was just, you didn't have fun?
Of course I had fun, Todd.
I had an awesome time.
People mistake me not having fun because I'm not quite as boisterous as you are.
I'm sorry. I know that Jeffrey Wack had fun. I know that Joe Graves had fun. I know that Christopher David had fun. I know Eric Desmarais had fun. I know that Kathy Graves had fun. I know that Bourbon had fun. We all had fun. The Turks, they're not here, but we had so much fun.
Katie was here in the chat. Yeah.
Let's do it. I mean, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. I want to do it again.
Oh crap! All this fun, and we forgot about someone who's here. Let's. We said special guest.
He probably thought 9 o'clock his time, which is 10 o'clock our time, Andy.
I don't know.
Did you put the right?
I can't keep up with this stuff. Let's welcome from Still Austin.
Screwed that up.
I didn't screw it up.
Because it's 10 o'clock now.
It's not my.
Which is 9 o'clock their time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby! It's 9 o'clock my time.
God damn it, Andy!
It
It figures.
I'm
it
so
figures.
sorry, guys. Hello, everyone. So,
What's
up, everybody?
What's
Hey,
up, Christian?
wow, you've already been live for an hour and everyone's just fucking done.
Well, we had
And
Jay West on. Jay West from Shared Port was on.
Oh, this is good. So, hey, so this is adorable, right? This is the one that
Yes,
has the
there it is.
the one that you need. But this is the one that we've already been drinking.
Oh,
This is the
look
one
at
that
that.
came, straight from the distillery. Wanted to snag it. God, guys, I'm so sorry.
No, there's hey Christian. How are you, brother?
I'm good. You said 9 o'clock, so I was like, boom. I'm so
And
sorry.
he's so dumb. He's so dumb.
Now wait a minute.
You're so dumb.
In my
I knew it. I knew it.
In my
I
defense,
knew it. I knew it.
In my defense,
Ryan over here too.
hey, Christian.
Ah!
Hey, what's going on?
Look at
man?
this.
You got the dynamic duo back
Well, you
together
guys were.
again.
He was there when you picked it.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Christian, what did the thumbnail say?
What's it?
9 o'clock.
Thumbnail says 9 p.m.
What
Yeah.
does it say after that?
EST.
No, it's okay. Hey,
I'm
look,
just checking. I just want to make sure it doesn't change over to Texas time when the thumbnail goes.
well, let's
to
do
you.
a proper cheers.
Oh,
You have it-
I'm so sorry.
well, the last.
I want to blame it on Todd anyway. Don't worry about it.
No. Hey,
Little-
let's
I feel horrible.
details. Let's not worry about that. Let's drink some whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, where are we getting the echo from? Is that you guys?
Probably
or
you
us?
guys. Mute whatever you have going on right now. Mute whatever you have.
Okay.
And like a secondary thing, just mute it. As long as you can hear us. Don't mute us. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. Can we hear you talk?
No, don't
So
hear
now-
you now.
We can't hear you now.
Can you?
Wait, is it?
Can you hear me?
It's not us. It's got to be them.
So is one of your phones on or something like that?
I mean, it's not like on in any capacity where it should be affecting.
Can you hear this? Oh, that's an echo.
Echo?
Hmm. It's echo on our part. But like, I hear us twice.
Does anybody else hear us twice?
You sound perfect on our end.
Really?
All right,
Yeah.
Deathless Dog says you have to turn off echo cancellation. Turn on echo cancellation.
All right, we'll try that right now. Hold on one second.
Guys, I just want to say I'm so sorry. I did not see.
It's Andy's
No, dude,
it's
I'm
Andy's fault,
messing with you.
Christian.
It's not a big deal. Honestly, not a big deal.
It's definitely
It's not a
Christian's
big
fault.
deal at all. Jay was on too for a while.
Ryan, come over here. Ryan, let's get some whiskey.
What's up,
So
Ryan?
right now,
How are you, man?
John and Nancy. Nancy is actually in town this evening, and
We
she
know.
is. Cheers, buddy. And she's at dinner with John at the moment. But yeah, they said they were gonna do their darndest to hop on.
I know. It's a shame that Brandon said, "Hey, let's go to dinner," or whoever your boss
We're blaming
is.
it on Brandon.
We're blaming it on Brandon. Don't shake your head. We're just blaming it on Brandon.
Cheers. I just
All
want
right,
to say this is liquid gold. What you guys picked. This is I cracked this open at the office today, and we've been sharing it
Nice.
throughout the whole office.
Nice.
We've been kind of like bumping around, from like desk to desk to desk, being like, try this.
Well,
And the
you
reception
better
has
keep
been-
that bottle, Christian, because that's a special bottle right there.
I'm gonna keep this one.
There you go. That's it. There you go. Keep that. There it is. That's the special bottle.
Dude, I gotta be totally honest with you. When I logged on and I saw live 1 hour and like 3 minutes or whatever, my heart just like dropped a little bit. I felt
not.
like a piece of shit.
It's Andy's fault.
It's so not a big deal. And I'll take the
It
rap
clearly,
for it.
if I would not, it clearly says EST on there, and I'm
But
the
here's the
worst.
thing, though, Christian. If I was I was talking to you. I said,
absolute
Christian,
worst.
make sure that you know that you were an hour behind us. So 9 o'clock our time is 8 o'clock your time. Andy didn't do that.
I'm bad with time, guys. I'm good
So
with
was
whiskey,
Andy.
bad with time.
You know what? You're talking to the
All right, let's talk
least
about
worried
it.
person in the world. Don't worry about it. All right, hey, do me one favor, Christian, if you can. Sign out. Sign right back in. We're gonna see if we can clear this.
There's a big echo.
The big echo off. And we're gonna see if we can clear that off.
You don't hear it, but we all do. That was a big echo. I don't know what's going on with that. I think something else seems like it's going.
Turn the speaker off. Something's going on that end. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
So those are the guys from Still Austin. It's Christian who runs their single barrel program, and what's the Ryan who was a distiller,
the Rick House manager.
There you go.
So
who was there when we picked this pick?
He's a good dude too, man. And I'll tell you, we'll talk to Ryan when he comes back in. Hold on one second.
Fingers crossed.
Let's see. Fingers crossed this works. All right, let's try now. There we go. Good. Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
All
It's
right,
beautiful.
we're
We're good. We're perfect now.
All right.
All right. Let's drink.
And Ryan, we were just talking about you too. So you work. You do a lot of work in the Rick House.
Correct, yeah. Barrel warehouse manager. So
how bloody hot must it be for you and working in these conditions in right outside of Austin, especially June, July, August, early September? That's got to be brutal, dude.
yeah, not gonna lie, it's definitely brutal. The temperatures whoop your butt in there, but it's worth everything. So hot as hell in there.
Hot as hell.
I feel
I was just the right time when I came to visit you guys. I think we were like the end of March, early April, and the weather was absolutely gorgeous. We're walking down around all the fields. We're seeing the new Rick houses go up. I'm like, what an awesome job it must be to be working, like managing this all the time in and around this. And then I'm thinking, I was here last August. It was 110 when I got off the plane. That must suck sometimes during the day. So I was like, tip of the cap, man. That has got to be a brutal gig. But for the majority of the year, also probably a wonderful job being out there, just hanging out there. And well, you guys got some good stuff there.
Yeah, we got like 8 months on, 4 months off.
4 months of
vice versa,
torture.
rather. 8 months of gorgeous, 4 months of kind of brutal.
Yeah.
Not kind of brutal. Don't say kind of.
So hold on, Christian. I want to ask
brutal.
you this question though. It's brutal, but it seems like the Still Austin single barrel program is really taking off a bit. You seem to have a lot of work going on. Just to say, just saying.
Man, so Ryan and I are out. Ryan's out there almost every day. Kind of like Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Out at the rack house. I'm out there, a couple times a week. When it can be, sometimes 3. But yeah, it's been crazy. And it's been crazy busy, and it has been, the reception to our single barrel program has been wild, and I think that's a testament to like truly how unique of an approach we're taking
Right.
to it, and really how excited individuals get when they taste these bottles and they're like, that truly tastes completely unique to any other thing that I've ever tasted from Still Austin. And that should be like the core focus of any like true single barrel program, right? You shouldn't just have a lineup of 4 or 5 different single barrels in a row and be like, cool, that one's a little sweeter, or that one's a little, it tastes almost the same. That's my least favorite thing, is when you go through a lineup of a bunch of different single barrels of any company, and there's really not a ton of difference in the flavor profiles. And when it comes down to the juice that Ryan and John had made. So while Ryan is the barrel house manager right now, he's also been working hand in hand with John Chappell, our head distiller, since day one. So both Ryan and John have made 100% of all the juice that's in awesome. Every bottle that we have right now.
Tip of the cap, brother.
Including your single barrel.
Job well done. Because I'll tell you, I remember being out there with you and John in the Rick House, right before actually Ryan joined us and started drinking with us at the end, which was fun. And the first one we tried after the red corn, we told the story earlier on the stream though, but was a beautiful pick, but it tasted so on profile that we skipped it. We're like, no, we want something just a little bit different. They were all great. They all, like, as Jay West was on earlier, and he said this. He said they all have this. They scream Still Austin in their own way, but the uniqueness of the different barrels is what really can kind of draw you. And this one that I said, Christian, dude, this is just funky weird in such a good way.
Do you remember doing the pick when we all kind of came to consensus on that number? Here's the actual look. I still have it, Christian.
I just remembered looking at you like, dude, this is different.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm never getting rid of this bottle. This is it. This is our first barrel pick that we will ever. So when we've done like 15, 20 of these, this is it. This is the first sample bottle that we had right there.
Dude, I just I messed up the debut podcast by not.
That's all right. You know what? Nobody cares about that.
It's look.
You know what people care about is how good this is. So here's the great thing, Christian. We've sold in the last, 10 hours, over 150 bottles of this whiskey so far. Right? And in 10 hours, we that's pretty freaking good. We're getting there,
and
so
you probably have what, only like maybe 30 bottles left, 20.
It's not many.
Well,
There's not many.
It's moving fast.
Yes,
so
exactly.
we had Jay on.
We're getting there.
and
Jay's very happy.
He actually updated us earlier today and said, "Guys, I'm impressed by how well it's moving." And so this is before
Jay's
the public hasn't even seen this yet. Hasn't even sniffed the public's airway.
No,
so
this is all
really
our
cool.
own people. This is it. Our own Patreon community is doing this. You guys out there that are watching this now, they're the ones buying this. It's not even touched the public. This is our own insular 21090 family. So I can't thank you guys enough. First, we picked it, but you guys make it. That's the great thing. And I've got the proud, we're proud still Austin shirt on. You can't see it very well, but I love what you guys do. We love what you guys, and so any pick we do is going to have that. And man, so when can we do the next one? When can we do the rye? When can we do a rye? Come on, Christian.
We have a single barrel rye coming out.
Come on, man. Where are we on that list? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I would let's make it happen for you guys.
What do you guys think in the chat? I mean, you guys want a single barrel rye pick from 21090?
Let me ask, are you allowed to go down there, Todd?
I will go down there for a rye pick because I'm a rye guy.
He probably won't, but I'll be down there. You tell me when. He's a rye guy. But he's also a married guy, so you probably won't be seeing Todd.
So are you.
I have work there. I have literal work in Austin. I can go whenever we need to go.
There you go. All right, so let's talk to Ryan and Christian. So when we talked about this barrel, we got Big Time Cream Soda. I still think the cream soda is still there. I mean, what do you guys get out of this? And my question to you also, Ryan and Christian, is we picked this the end of or the beginning of April, or you drilled it in the late of March, and we bottled it in June. Does it change that much in the barrel in those 2 months? I mean, does it really?
Sure.
Yeah,
especially in the summer.
Yeah, I mean that's where the first kind of like ramp up of heat's happening, right? Between like May and June, that first like really aggressive tune up, like it goes to 11. Well, some other rick houses it only goes to 10. We go to 11.
Yeah, there you go. I love it.
We go to 11. And that really happens where we like rocket ship in that time. So it was actually a really unique time for you guys to pick that.
Beautiful.
I mean, we're both out there, and he's seen the change over year after year after year, and Ryan can speak more to how the barrels have tasted differently. Even like during the freeze that we had here, we all say the freeze, right?
Yeah.
But that was huge, right? It was big, and it was massive to our climate, and that affected the whiskey in a big way. So,
in a good way, I assume.
It's funny.
Again, what do you think? What do you think happened with the freeze?
No.
The freeze,
with the barrels.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, slowed it down. I think a little bit, but I think other than that, it was the summer. I mean,
it's coming and go, right? So the freeze stopped it from going in the wood, and then it's going in and out of the wood. It has to be a good thing, right?
Of course. The way I like to think of it is our, the juice that we have right now, right? So if anyone on the chat or anyone listening didn't know, like once whiskey inside a barrel reaches an ambient temperature of roughly 43 to 44 degrees, there's no barrel interaction whatsoever that continues to happen. There's no aging that's happening.
Right.
How often can we say that happens here in Texas?
Not very often. Right.
Right. So the way I like to think about it, that year of the freeze, we think of a NASCAR that's just like constantly running laps and constantly running like 6,000 RPMs or however many. Please, anyone who pays attention to NASCAR, don't call me out. I don't know how many fucking RPMs in it, but it's a lot, right? So let's just say 6,000, 8,000, right? And then you bring that down to like 1,000 real drastically. That's not used to that. So it did something pretty magical in that freeze year for sure.
That's awesome.
And then it had to, it went right back up because we had a fairly normal summer. It got real hot real quick that summer, I feel.
All right, so let's get into this bottle then. So
Well,
we
and, you know, just
oh, sorry.
but it is amazing because when people look at the age statements on the Still Austin, sometimes they're a little skeptical. But you don't want a Still Austin sit in the barrel for 13 years because I mean, there's going to be nothing left. And it's going to be nothing but wood.
I do. I'll take it. I'll take whatever's in that barrel. Hell yeah.
You probably
I will.
wouldn't though. It's just going to be.
I 100% would.
Well, Todd would. But what I'm saying is, you look at Nancy knows what she's doing too, and this is funny too when you talk about that. And then she goes and she works in Wyoming where. You know, you're that freeze is happening like half the year where you're below 40. So there's a pause. So it's going to affect this aging process so much differently than when you're in Austin. And Jay was saying it's difficult to control that crazy Texas weather. So making the job of those who are kind of doing the work that much tougher. And guys are doing a dynamite job, a bang up job, if you ask me. I think it's fantastic. Well,
there you go.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into our pick. I'm interested to see what you guys get flavor-wise and tasting notes off of this. Please, Christian, give if Nancy can't
and Major Zero, they don't get it in Memphis. This is why you want to join Patreon.
Yes,
come on,
we have like
we don't have
50 bottles left
in Memphis. Well,
get a bottle while you can.
Let's make it happen for you in Memphis, baby.
There you go.
Get a bottle while you can.
Come on,
So,
our Patreon. Let's go. So, what do you guys get out of it? Let me hear it.
Milky Way.
You know what? We went to an event.
Malty, like toffee, like Milky Way on the nose, like immediately.
Milky Way. On the nose. You're doing nose now.
Like getting overwhelmed with cherry right now.
Oh, shit. Cherry, guys?
I still get a ton of like vanilla puddings. I mean, I get that too, man.
Oh, yeah, like vanilla pudding. One thing that I get a lot on a lot of our picks, especially like around this time frame, around this year, is like birthday cake. There's a very,
you know what?
Certain
yellow cake.
Does that make sense?
I call it, yeah.
Todd says it a lot. Yep.
I say it a lot. I say it a lot on American whiskeys, especially like Old Carter, and I get that a little bit on this. That yellow cake. I get it. Yeah, totally.
Reminds me of everything that like smells good at like a county, like all the sweet things that you smell at a county fair that you want. You know what I'm talking about? That just like lures you in.
We talked about that. We remember the nose on the barrel seagrass, right? That kind of like that funnel cake, kind of like almost like you're sitting at a country carnival kind of fair type thing. Yeah, and you can get some of those notes off of this.
All right, on the palate, what do you guys get?
Also, you know those. I mean, I don't know who has Buc-ee's, but here in Texas we have Buc-ee's, and we got beaver nuggets. Reminds me a little bit of beaver nuggets
here,
but also, you're like, what's a Buc-ee?
I passed Buc-ee's in my travels, not knowing what they were. They have a big Slim Jim selection too, like beef jerky. Lots of beef jerky.
Oh my god, dude! You've never been to a Buc-ee's?
I stopped at one. I've Buc-ee's and Loves we don't have here, and I've stopped at multiple of my travels when I go across the country. I'm like,
we have Royal Farms.
Places, we have Wawa, Sheetz, Royal Farms. Buc-ee's is cool, and Loves is cool.
You have Wawa Wheats. What's that?
Wawa. 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 It's a
convenience store, like a big
What's
shopping.
They're like a upscale 7-Eleven, Royal Farms type thing.
He doesn't know what Royal Farms is.
You got it?
I don't know. Buc-ee's is a huge like supermarket superstore. I mean, it's a huge.
It's the most unnecessary thing you've ever seen in your life. They have a wall of beef jerky. They have German nuts that are roasting as well.
We don't have that.
So that's also what this gives off. It's like a little bit like German nut. Those like roasted
Texas,
German
Florida,
nuts.
somewhere.
There's nothing better than a wall of beef jerky.
We live in Maryland. We have crabs. That's all we have is crabs. Literally and figuratively, we have crabs. I'm just saying.
You can go to the block and get both.
We can get
Maryland. We got crabs.
Literally and figuratively. Yeah, that's what we have. So anyway, all right, back to the. All right.
Beef nuggets is close. I
digress.
I love beaver nuggets. Wait, he's saying beaver nuggets is what we smell in this? Okay, we were like, what? What's going on?
I digress. Move on,
I mean,
please.
if you never smell the beaver nugget, it's a pretty.
I have not.
Okay, what about Pops? You know the cereal Pops?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know that.
Right, like the caramely. So beaver nuggets are essentially just like giant Pops.
All right. Well, Joe Graves knows what beaver nuggets are.
With a lot more like caramel, like syrup over them. Todd loves beaver nuggets.
Well, you know, when we first picked this barrel, we thought this was sort of a very unique barrel, though, also for Still Austin, right? So I remember us going through this, and we're like, this is not that it's off profile, but It was
slightly different.
It's different than the other ones we were tasting that night. I would say that, right? It was the one that was the most unique and sort of, I don't know. I think all of us, it stuck to a bit more than the other ones. That's why we picked it.
Vanilla wafers on a bowl of homemade ice cream with toffee bits and caramel drizzle.
You know what?
Buddy,
that's
what beaver nuggets taste like. Saucy Shane.
All right, so it's Saucy Shane in the chat.
over here.
Where's Saucy Shane? Highlight.
That's who they read.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
I was gonna say that's what he said. Shit.
Well, so here's the thing. Saucy did an early review. If you guys haven't seen this yet, he plugged it a little bit.
A couple of days ago.
No. I mean, just a couple seconds ago, he put his video up. Go check out the link.
Yes.
And he talked about how much he enjoyed the Pour Some Awesome, which is great. But he also said something.
A 94 score. 94 out of 100.
In the beginning about how dangerous it is because it drinks under its proof.
It does.
And it's so, he goes, it will sneak up on you and you will end up drinking a lot more than you thought you would, which we ended up doing last week on the show and at Sagamore this weekend. So yeah,
we just brought this bottle of Sagamore and just opened it up because we were on a stream.
It was gone
for Mash and Journey and we were promoting this thing, which we were on. But we, of course, brought.
What's that other bottle you got?
We were part of a pick for another bottle, so that's called the trifecta.
It's from Sagamore. It's a VDN finished rye from Sagamore, which is beautiful.
Really good,
it's fantastic.
Awesome.
But we had just gotten this, so we of course brought a bottle of this, and there was 200 whiskey fans there, and we were giving out like it was like gold. Yep. It was gone within like an hour. It was gone. The whole bottle gone.
And it just looks so pretty too. Oh man,
look. Christian's looking at like his kid. Look at that, and I'm gonna drink him all.
It's just you hate to see him grow up.
You hate to see him, but it just tastes so goddamn good.
So to what you were saying before, when we were tasting it out of the rick house, we noticed, from what I remember, I know that we noticed a lot of those beautiful quintessential, caramel, vanilla, the maple syrup.
That cream soda too, though.
True, and that we love. But there was also these this beautiful, almost like a candied, like a candied chocolate serrano pepper that we liked about it, like this beautiful vegetal note that we liked about it. And that was one thing that I remember you really gravitating towards.
Yes,
is this slight vegetal note that wasn't overpowering, that still worked well with all the the normal.
And what's funny was the apprehension there too, was you get a lot of the notes that were really sharp when you just first had it straight out of the barrel have all kind of come together, coalesced, and really settled and balanced themselves out so nice on this is what I absolutely love. So it really was like, is this note going to dominate or not? And when it all came together, you start to see that they're just kind of playing in harmony, which is really, really cool and makes this a dangerous sipper because it starts off big, it finishes really smooth and says, come on back and
here's the funny thing.
Sip.
So Saucy Shane, who is the only other whiskey tuber who's reviewed this and put it up because he got it early because he lives in Tennessee. So Shared Pour unfortunately doesn't share it to Tennessee and Texas of all places. So we went down the Shared Pour. We bought the bottles for our patrons who live in those states and sent them out. And Saucy got them, put them up, and he said basically, I drank through this bottle so quickly, Todd, I need another bottle. He's already bought 2. He's going on his 3rd bottle.
Nice job, Saucy Shane. That's all we love seeing. Go Saucy Shane.
I mean, that's what it is. I actually just got it for him today, and Saucy, I'll be sending it to you this week. So
you need boxes first.
I do need boxes. God damn, I need boxes. These fucking boxes.
Inside joke. I'm sorry. Todd struggles with boxes.
I mean, I gotta send, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're sending out 14, 15 bottles to people, and it's like, I don't have boxes for all these things. And I don't want them to break. Such a struggle. I sent it to Christian. I made sure it was perfect. Christian, how was that shipping? It was perfect, right?
You just wrap them in your t-shirts, Todd? You just what do you wrap?
If Andy only produced t-shirts, I would, but he doesn't. So
well played.
I reused the actual box from Shared Pour to send you guys. It was a whiskey box, so I was like, I wanted to make sure you got our bottle because we wanted you guys because you guys were our first pick to have at least a sticker on it.
If he wrapped it in his Jackal t-shirt from high school, we need that back.
Yeah, there you go.
I gotta
don't
say,
laugh at that.
I've seen I've seen a couple, a few secondary labels that are on the back of our bottles.
Yeah.
One thing that that speaks out, that holds really true to us here at Still Austin, is the artwork, right?
Yes.
We want to stand out. We want to, we don't want to lose any of that. And you guys just did such a beautiful bang up job of making it look just like really seamless and really, really nice on the back.
It was
with this design.
Austin
So
skyline. It
thank
was
you
it.
guys. Thank you guys so much. It looks so good
No.
and it looks so cool.
Thank you guys. I mean, it's
Well, the thought was, let's take some of the culture of Austin. Like, it's a big music city. There's a lot of vibe there, which is very eclectic, it's very cool, it's very diverse. It's a cool city. Let's combine that with our love of 80s, classic rock music, put them together, just come up with something. And so the skyline in the back works, change the colors a little bit, throw it all together, slap the font on there, and it actually turned out a lot better than I thought when we were playing around with the idea, because Todd and I had a couple different names, but this is the one that kind of stuck. It's
well, hold on though, Christian, we have our name for our rye pick from you guys. So whenever you want to make that happen, we're ready to go.
We're not unveiling that though, Todd.
You
have
have
to
I'm not
hold
saying
some
it.
things
I'm just
close
saying
to the chest.
we have it ready to go for the rye, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that's all I'm saying.
So
all right. So
understanding the pour some sugar.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was understanding the pour some sugar on me reference.
What are you playing?
No, I just wanted to know, have you guys
stop it?
Have you heard Todd
stop
sing
it?
before?
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this?
Have we heard Todd sing before?
Yeah.
No one's
no, but we'd love to.
God damn it!
Todd.
Well, he actually sang a little pour some sugar on me.
I'll
just show you a little clip.
I would ask
questions.
questions.
Just circle back around that.
Jesus Christ!
It's just a little clip, Todd. Real quick. Real
Here we
quick.
go again.
Just for a second.
Yeah. Take a bottle, shake it up. I'm not doing that all. I'm not. You're gonna put that in. I'm stopping before you do that. And he's used it ever since, Christian. He's used it ever since in any live stream. I don't think it's funny anymore.
Incredible.
I don't think it's funny at all.
And did you guys have? You probably had 0 whiskeys before that, right?
No, well, that's probably actually that time we had a lot of beer.
Well, hey, either way, I mean, does he not have a cross between Fergie and Jesus,
right.
like a beautiful voice?
I felt like I was levitating when I did
like
that.
Fergie and Jesus.
Anyway, can we get back to the whiskey?
Yes. All right. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, actually, hey, you know what, Andy? I'm really curious to see what a little bit more of that soundbite sounds like. I just feel like the listeners want to know.
No, they don't. They really don't. They've heard it
about
a million times.
It's not like that's the only time he sang for us.
You get me, Mom, Sherry. I want what you got all over me. Isn't my love strong enough?
Cannot work like this.
What?
He did not ask. I'm like, what are you doing this for? He's like, he asked. I'm like, he did not ask.
That second one felt like an ask.
It did not ask. Did not feel like an ask.
I specifically asked.
See, David says he couldn't tell the difference between me and the studio version. So I'll take that.
That's good.
Can we get back to the whiskey?
Get back to the whiskey.
We're trying to. So you've smelled. Is the palate following the nose for you guys? I'm curious. Is there anything different on the palate for you guys? I also love how viscous this is. Andy mentioned it earlier. I think it drinks under its 116 proof. I remember when we did this pick, it was at 120. You do all of them at 116. You're like, don't worry. It's not gonna. It doesn't change a thing to it. And so. I think it's viscous as all get out. I think it actually, in a very good way, drinks under it. And I'm not saying that in a bad way at all. It drinks under its proof. It's like I can drink multiple pours of this and be like, I want another one. I want another one. It doesn't like hit you so hard that it's like, oh my gosh, this is too big for my britches. You know what I mean?
Britches.
The thing that I keep coming back to is like a beautiful like dark cacao, like this beautiful like well-rounded like dark cacao, and just a really like kind of like a warm vanilla, almost like a mulled cider on like a fall day.
Ooh,
if that
makes
sense.
Look at you.
I'm on the train with that.
It's very poetic.
I'm on the same train. I was gonna say, I always get the like cherry chocolate, but more of like a dark chocolate, almost a little spicy, but
so when the
nose is a little sweeter than how it tastes, I'd say. But
I feel like when you and I are tasting out at the Rack House, when I say cherry, I may get something a little different than you. Like when you say cherry, what do you get? Do you get like the Like the tart notes, or like those like red,
like a Luxardo cherry.
like Luxardo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like cherry pie on
Oh,
there?
for Christ's sakes.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drinking water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry wood. You're not going to use that, are you?
Oh, somewhere down the line I'll use that for something. It's here. It's at my fingertips. I struggle not to press the buttons. I'm sorry. It's just set up so perfect.
Anyway.
Absolutely.
So super excited about it. I mean, I think everyone who's had it already, really, listen, you guys, you do great work, and we're just happy to be sort of advocates for what you do. We appreciate all the help, and I'm super proud of this bottle and this barrel that Andy went down to, and you guys kind of collected, and we picked collectively. And I don't know. I mean, when you think of your first barrel pick that you've done, and so we'll hopefully do many more over the years, and this will have a special place. And I can't thank you guys enough, man.
No, absolutely. And honestly, it wasn't just, and I say this sincerely, you could have just said, hey, let's go drill a couple holes, get you out of there. You guys took your time and toured. We got to taste different things. We tasted the red corn. We tasted the blue corn bib. We did the port finish, which was fantastic. We went and grabbed lunch afterwards, which was also a lot of fun. Like, it was just, the whole experience was just fantastic. And then you guys have come on a couple times since, hung out with us. I know for a fact that if we do other picks down lines with other people, it's not going to be like this. So you kind of, we're really honored that for the first experience, you probably set the bar way too high for what we're going to have to deal with.
That's awesome.
in years to come. But we appreciate it 1,000,000%. We really do.
So we just have to come back for the rye. I think the rye is the
Hey,
next
I'm
thing.
not. I'm on the table. If it's
I mean,
up there, we
Christian,
can talk. We can always talk off air, Christian. But
I mean, what do you guys think in the chat? Do you want a
It's on the table.
It's on the table.
It's on the table. It's on the table, guys. We think we can do this. As long as you guys think we can do this in the near future, we'll look into it.
Yeah, I'd be down 100%.
Look at Richie Z. Richie Z said he had won a sample of this last week, and he just got it today. And he said he went on a Patreon a moment ago and may or may not have used his credit card a little bit. So way to go! There you go.
Awesome,
More
Richie.
bottles gone. Thank you, Richie Z. Thank you guys to everybody. Mike B can't wait for the rye. So Mike B, is Mike B a Patreon member? Mike B, you can't wait for the rye. Come Patreon. Well, although, what I'm curious, guys. So the rye cash strengths came out. We haven't tasted that yet.
No, it's on the way. It's
on the way. We have a
got it
bottle coming.
So yeah.
Good. We have some over here somewhere, don't we?
No, he's
Oh,
going to tease us. He's going to
we
tease us.
drank all of it.
Dang, yeah. Well, we have a thank you to Mark from we have a patron in Austin who's muling us these bottles, but we can't wait because I'll tell you this: the regular rye for $45 or $40. Oh God, look at shit.
Well, and I see a lot's left.
Yeah, that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it must not have been very good. Looking at
No, it was the worst.
It was so bad.
Guys, we
so
haven't
bad.
even gotten to this one yet. People are already saying, get this rye deal done.
Let's
We
get the
got
rye
some
deal
people
done.
excited.
Rye 100%.
Hey, look,
All right,
still
there it
Austin's
is.
hot as hell right now. I mean,
You
this
guys
is people,
are. You know you are.
guys are doing good stuff.
Right?
And
you know you're hot, right? You know you're hot. You're like the hot chick in high school that me and Andy never got to date.
You like I can almost bet that you guys bring all the boys.
Oh,
Come
come on,
bring all the
Andy.
boys to the yard, do you? Bring all the boys to the yard.
Because my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours.
What the hell?
More
He's
of
mad
that.
at me now.
More of that.
Yes.
Oh, Mike B is. Mike B, you're a Patreon member. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. You know what? I haven't looked. Mike.
Todd he gets a little funny.
Mike is. Mike, I apologize.
We might even call the rye the
Andy.
milkshake. Yeah.
Real quick.
I'll add you as a moderator now.
Just coming back to what you said. You're like what we did. Like coming out and showing you a good time. We
Oh yes, you are,
you
Mike.
thought that
I'm
we
sorry.
went above and beyond and all that. We're just really showing you who we are as a company and as people, because we couldn't do what we're doing and we couldn't be growing the way we're growing if it wasn't for awesome people like you guys.
That's awesome.
We don't have the the massive, we're not doing commercials, we're not doing any of that. We're all just like, hey man, grab a bottle of this and take it over to your buddy's house. Come hang out with your friends, share it over a fire, sing some songs together. You know, so hearing you say that, it means a lot because we just try and do that every single day, and we just try and embody just kind of, I don't know, being
I'll
real
say one
maybe,
thing.
and not
Great culture.
great culture, and not getting too big for our britches. Because the second you
awesome.
start getting too big for your britches and you think that you make the best shit out there, that's when you're not going to make the best shit out there,
But you
and
do.
there's going to be some
But you
people
do.
that start running circles around you.
Yeah. Well, no,
So
you don't lose
we
sight
ain't
of
that
what
distillery,
got you
so
started.
we appreciate you.
No, we appreciate you lose it. And I always say I work with my industry. I work with a lot of different, places, big and small. Let's just say that.
Okay.
And I always say that if
there you go.
you need
Drink
to
it
treat
up.
everybody the same. I don't care if they're the largest client you have or the smallest client you have. You have to treat everybody the same because you never know what's going to happen. And I think you guys, same thing with Jay with Shared Pour. He's like, yeah, I'll take a chance with you guys. We'll get this thing done. You guys were like, come on out. Can you sell 200 some bottles? Who the hell knows? We'll take
We're
a
gonna
shot
try.
on it. And we had a plan. We
Sure,
dove into
sure
it.
can.
It's flying.
We
You know,
can.
hey, little engine.
Well,
good.
because
Go
of
for it.
our,
Cheers, guys.
our awesome Patreon
Cheers, man.
members. Yeah, cheers, guys, and thank you again for everything. And I will say this: it's also because of the Jews. It's not, I mean, we will only do barrel picks on whiskeys that we're behind, right? We know that we appreciate what they do and that are unique and special. And the fact that we had gone through this process and passed up on some pretty big barrel picks because we didn't think it was right. And this felt right away. I don't know why it is. When we first talked to Brandon and he came on and we were fans already, and then he came on our show and he's like, guys, anytime you want, just here's my number, call me. You're in the area.
Although
What?
Brandon promised me dinner and he did not. I did not get to do.
But
so
you got to go to lunch with these guys and
that
really,
was fun. But next time I'm out there, Brandon knows me dinner.
you hear that, guys?
I'm just saying.
Do you hear that?
So you guys later.
Next time we will go to dinner.
All right. I love it. Although I had fun at lunch too.
Andy told me, listen, I have 2 kids and I'm happily married. This is the best day of my life. That's what he said. I swear to God, that's what came out of his mouth. I'm just saying.
All right, Ryan, Christian, and John are like, you want to go to lunch? I was like, I know my appointment's at 4, and
Yes.
it's 2 o'clock. I was like, give me a quick phone call. God, I'm not gonna be able to make it today. Yeah, let's go to lunch. Like, this is great.
John Krantz said two britches.
Two
He said
britches
two
references
britches
tonight. I
references.
laugh at Todd, then you came up with a britches reference. Too big for your
That's
britches.
too
So it's
good,
great.
Jar. That's great.
It's just a quality word.
Thank you, Pete.
I don't think it's
Appreciate it.
utilized enough.
It's not. It really isn't.
And it shows that you were you've
Born
got-
in
You've got a
1976.
gray hair on your body somewhere.
If I had any hair, it would be gray.
Right.
Mhm.
There, I see. There's a
That's a
little
little
right
flock
there.
of
Alright.
seagulls, isn't it?
So here's what we're gonna do.
run.
Oh, there you go.
See?
If I only had hair like that. If I only had hair like that.
Couldn't get away.
Now you're just showing
Let's
off,
take that to
Christian.
No,
Yeah.
he's not. Hey,
I mean, let's go, Todd. Let's sing.
hey, wait a minute. Now, Todd did have hair. He's getting mad at me for doing this, but there
No, there it
his-
is. Look at that
there's-
sweet
there's
mullet I
his
had.
high-
That is
Look at that mullet I had. Look at that
Look
mullet.
at that high school
Holy
picture.
cow.
Party in the party, business up front, party in the
Holy
back, guys.
mother of cones.
And then he went on to audition for Guns N' Roses.
Oh, there it is.
So I don't
There
know
it
if you
is.
saw that too, but yeah. So it's
Axel's bullshit. He has no hair. That's all plugs. That's all bullshit.
So,
Look at that.
Todd, he's got all this on you. What do you have on Andy? What is there anything in
Listen,
Well,
I'm
yeah.
too nice of a guy to have all this on.
No,
Andy.
he doesn't have the editing skills. Although we do have a Backstreet Boy photo, so we
That's
can,
true.
we
Look at
can-
Joey Fatone. Andy thinks he's a Backstreet Boy. That's true. That's a good point.
Oh God, that's all I'm gonna see now. It's just you and
That's
Joey.
pretty bad. It's pretty bad. All right, so I don't know what is next for us, but I'm sure it's going to involve Still Austin throughout the journey, Andy. And I think it's a beautiful bottle. I'm super proud of it. I may have to buy more from Shared Pour because
so we don't run out.
so we don't run out, because this is now we've drank half the bottle tonight, guys. That's how easily we can do this. We're gonna give it away tonight, guys, for super chats. A sample of every Still Austin we have. We probably have 5 or 6 Nancy single barrel Nancy picks. We have our own pick. We have the weeded bourbon. I mean, I'm sorry, not the oated bourbon. I love that oated. The oated bourbon to me was a fantastic whiskey. I had never had it oated bourbon. I loved it. We have the red corn whiskey. We've got all the core offerings.
And that oated bourbon I hate giving away because that was a gift from Brandon.
Was it really?
Yeah, he said. He said.
Is there
I have
is
one
there any
left,
hope that'll
and
come
he
back?
gave it to me.
Is there any hope that'll come back? Oated bourbons? No, not happening. No. Maybe. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I loved everything about that.
I had knee surgery, was out for weeks, and Todd
I drank
had
the shit out of that
bottle. He
bottle.
drank like almost
There's
half
not
the
my
bottle.
less in the bottle.
I was
You
pissed.
left it here, and that was your own mistake.
Yeah, I was not happy.
So mistake. Oh, he's got. Look, they got some. They might have it. Look, they have it. They have it.
Oh, we got some.
So the oated bourbon is not.
No.
No?
Can we show him the? Can we show him the octopus and the?
What's the
one
octopus?
that's got
What's the octopus, Andy?
Oh, just you wait, Henry Higgins.
Whoa. What?
The patch, the lonesome. Yeah, I think that Octo and Monster Mash should be pretty cool to show because that's something that. Yeah.
Oh, what do we got, guys? Is this an exclusive? I don't know what we're looking at.
So we're just pulling down a couple bottles that just art purposes, just to kind of showcase like how much we care about art and like the true like uniqueness of what we do. Thanks, buddy. So just Ryan just climbed up on top of the counter to grab.
What the heck? What do we got here? Tell us what we have.
So this is hand stitched right here.
Oh my god.
That's our foregrain. There's a fabric on there. You can tell them what that foregrain. You go for it. So this foregrain bottle is awesome. So it was 68% white corn, 15% rye, 13% wheat, and 4% malted barley. Sorry, there you go.
That looks great.
Right there. So each one of these is like hand stitched that we did.
Wow.
So badass. And
that's really freaking cool.
Here.
I obviously it's still the only exclusive.
This is one that sold out really, really quick.
Damn.
This is a really cool example of one of our DRSs, the Distillery Reserve series.
Yes.
Just something beautiful that John and Ryan made, years back, and it really kind of started out as a let's see what happens, right? Let's see, let's see what that develops, and just turned out absolutely phenomenal. And then we teamed up with local artists in Austin to do these labels. This is another badass one that we released, the double barrel.
Oh, that's really cool.
Oh, when did that come out?
So this came. This is really cool. So there was only 204 bottles of this, and this came with a pair of 3D glasses.
Man.
Up, and this is a 3D label that was really badass.
That's awesome.
So that's a single barrel of a double barrel.
Yep.
Damn. How good is that bottle?
With an octopus.
How good is that bottle?
Very good.
Very good.
So it's essentially a double oak high rye.
Oh, Jesus.
That's fantastic.
Andy,
so cool.
you need to go where we need to. Well, I'm sorry. We need to go where they are and somehow figure out how to open that bottle up.
Send me out. Yeah, I'll do some work.
That was awesome.
All right, so Ryan, you're here. Do we have anything new? So we know the high rye bourbon's coming out for the Bottle and Bond in the fall, right? We've got the blue corn bourbon coming in the winter, and then what's the spring? The spring is what?
I don't know if I can say.
Well, it's been announced, hasn't it?
Yeah, we had the announcements. I think it's already come out, but
all right. Well,
if not,
I think it's just the rye. I think it's just the straight rye.
100% rye. 100% rye. 100% rye.
100% rye.
Is there anything else that we're missing that you guys are working on that you can announce, or no? There's not. I mean, you guys have things all the time, right? So just be on the lookout. Is what I should say.
I would say we have a ton of different, really, really cool mash bills aging right now.
Ooh.
In
Ooh.
a whole myriad of different casks. Yeah,
so finished whiskey. Finished. Are you saying finished?
Finished. Yeah.
Which we tried that port finish, which was silly.
I have not tried that port finish.
Well, no, you didn't, but we tried it when I was out there. It was fantastic.
You said we. I didn't try it.
Well, we meant the three of us here.
No, the three amigos.
I didn't.
Yeah, not minus the bar.
Yeah,
actually, I like
Todd,
that.
it was great, Todd. You should have been there.
You know what? For the next label, Three Amigos, how about me, you, and Ryan on the on a bottle?
I will veto that.
I would love that idea.
That'll never make it to Patreon.
Just holding up beef
Bam.
ribs.
Fist
Just
bump
holding
right
up
there.
beef ribs.
Bam.
What
Just
the hell just happened here?
Hey, you want to play your dumb little thing there that you never played? Now he doesn't want to play it anymore.
No,
I feel like
not
Todd gets
playing.
bullied a little bit.
Not playing. What do you say?
I'm feeling like Todd gets bullied a little bit.
Thank you, Christian, for at least saying that.
He doesn't get bullied. It's almost the exact opposite. This is the only time I get to kind of,
That's what I feel like right now. Trombone. Anyway. All right. So I'm super, guys.
So Todd's super excited to send me back to Austin.
Well, if you're going to bring back a rye sample pack, yes, let's do that. So,
well, you know what? More to come on that.
More to come, guys.
Let's get this. Let's get
the wheel going.
This puppy.
So we are going to give away every Still Austin sample that we have. It's probably listen. We have. How many Nancy picks do you think we have? Between both of us,
I have a bunch.
We
so I
at least have 4 or 5 Nancy picks from the last few months. I mean, maybe even more than that. We have all the core offerings, and then we have the Oated Bourbon. We have the Red Corn Whiskey. We have our single barrel pick. So you're talking about probably at least 10 samples of various Still Austin products that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into this, Andy. I think Amy's been tracking for us, though. Thank you, Amy Boehm. You're the greatest. We'll bring up the wheel, and then. Guys, if you're not a Patreon member, it's not going to last long. Come join us. It's going to go to public if we haven't sold it all out. There's only about 60 left right now. Yeah. So Friday.
That's all in one day.
It's been not even one day. It's been
not even
10
day.
hours.
And we've killed a lot of barrels. It's moving quick. So
yeah, very quick.
Which is awesome.
Which is a testament to you guys for supporting us. We really appreciate that. So that's great. JG, thank you for the super chat. Andy's gonna hopefully pull up the wheel, and we'll get out of our
what's it on here?
Sheet? It's sheets, Andy.
We have sheets here too. If you guys don't have sheets is great. They have schmuffins, they have schmiskets, pretzels.
They don't know what that is. They need.
I know they need a
schmuffins and schmiskets.
Yeah.
Yes, they're delicious.
It's fantastic.
Oh my god!
You can only imagine what they are.
All right, it's a light wheel, so you guys got a great chance because I wasn't expecting this. This is great.
Great chance. Light wheel. We're gonna give away a bunch of sample pours from Still Austin, and then I think they've all bought our pick, Andy. It's all good.
What's the name of the wheel? What do we call it?
Wheel of Names, Andrew. Wheel of Names.
Okay, hold on.
There you go.
Wheel of Names.
It's your last super chats in for every single barrel or every bottle we have from Still Austin.
We didn't even announce we were doing this.
No, we didn't. So it's all good.
So those of you who just graciously said, "Hey, thank you, appreciate it." All right.
And if you want a good selection of Still Austin sort of whiskeys, we have it.
We do, Edward. All right, hold on. Let me pull this up.
Pull it up and let's go. Let's get out of here. What is Christopher David saying? I must have missed him. All right, so Andy, you're gonna go down to Still Austin, pick us a rye pick, and we'll be good to go. Is that what's happening? Christian said it's good.
See how these things happen.
It's all good.
All right, present.
Here we go. Let's bring up that beautiful wheel. That artwork on Christian's arm. That's pretty badass.
Todd, you should get one.
I could, but it hurt. Would
your wife let you get a tattoo?
She doesn't like me with facial hair, so what the hell is that?
You can't grow facial hair.
Thankfully, she doesn't like men with. I picked the perfect woman for me. She doesn't like facial hair, and I have none. And
that's so mean, Andy. It's so mean, dude.
Listen, it's not mean because you know what? It's the truth.
That is true. It came in. Hold on.
Oh, there you go. People and Christian, here's the thing. I don't like facial hair either. It doesn't look good on me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah.
I mean, I look like Scott Van Pelt from ESPN. Should I have? I mean, look at me. So I shouldn't have facial hair.
No.
I mean,
and my wife doesn't like it.
About the Broncos.
What's that?
Oh, nothing about the Broncos. Nothing.
Oh, you're a Broncos fan?
Born and raised.
Oh, I'm so sorry that we beat you in the Mile High Miracle where Kobe Jones got behind you. Shitty secondary. And Joe Flacco threw a bomb over it, leading us to the AFC Championship game where we beat it was all Super Bowl after that. You know,
Joe Flacco and those eyebrows, and then for some reason they were like, "Hey Joe, you should come to the Broncos. And then he came to the Broncos and he was
And he
like,
sucked
I'll
that.
stop at football now.
That's funny.
We will not speak ill of the elite one.
Of
around
Joe
here.
Andy is the biggest Joe Flacco fan you will ever meet, by the way.
Are you?
He literally
Oh,
has a
man.
shrine of Joe Flacco in his basement. I'm not kidding you.
You are kidding. I don't have a single Joe Flacco piece of paraphernalia in my
You
basement.
don't?
No.
Well, what kind of
Can you
fan are
go
you
back
then?
in time and tell him not to suck when he played for the Broncos? That'd be cool.
No, it's because he wasn't with the Ravens.
I did love quality Flacco time, like real like prime time.
Michael
Flacco.
Dale,
I mean,
thank you.
The
Appreciate
problem, the problem is not Joe Flacco. The problem is John
Thank
Elway.
you, Shauna. Thank you, Mark.
And John Elway was cursed when he took Flacco because Elway turned down coming to Baltimore.
Did you?
And that's what happened. Yeah.
Did you put up Mark Emmecker's pick?
I put Mark's in. Yeah.
No, did you actually
I feel
highlight
like-
it though?
I
feel like we should get into
highlighted
this.
Mark's and Shauna's.
I
Thank
feel
you.
like we should get
What's going on?
Todd,
What's wrong, Andy?
Todd, stop talking to me. I'm trying to.
Andy hates loading the wheel. He hates it.
Stupid.
He hates it. Guys, keep super chatting so he has to keep doing it. No, I'm just joking because he hates doing this. He absolutely hates doing it. You know, you could go to Amy Bohm's tracking.
These
for you.
came after Amy
Andy.
sent.
She still updates
Andy.
it every time.
Andy.
Andy's terrible.
Andy.
He's such, you're such a
Andy.
fanboy.
Is that
Oh
good
my
or not?
god. Oh my
Wait,
god.
wait. Hold on.
Oh my god.
Hold on, wait.
What is wrong with you?
Thank you for your super chats, everybody.
I got a quarterback option with elite sauce.
Elite sauce? That's me. I'm elite.
There's your man
Yeah.
Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
There
See
he is.
That? How good is that?
He's elite.
How,
He's elite.
how good is that?
Oh my god.
Oh,
All right,
man.
spin the goddamn wheel.
See, that's what I do. I make cool stuff like that.
All right, so it's going to be every Still Austin that we have, and we have a lot. So we have a lot of Nancy
Holy
picks, thanks
cow,
to
man.
Mark.
All right, shuffling, and we're gonna get
No
ready.
whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
No
All
whammies.
right, here we go. Todd, by the way, did you see? I like the new wheel. You like the new wheel?
No, I hate the new wheel. Why is it still say it's like a well, I'm not gonna say what it looks like.
I think it looks great.
You look like a drug dealer, by the way, in that whatever that is.
Hawkins, mashing.
But an
Pete Hawkins.
attractive,
Soft.
drug dealer.
Attractive drug dealer. You look like you should be on like I'm not gonna say where you should. I'm just spin the wheel before I say something stupid.
You that shouldn't last long. There we go. All right.
There you go. Who wins the Still Austin sample pack of everything we own from Still Austin, which is a lot.
Shauna.
It's Shauna. All right, Shauna. Way to go. I love that.
All right. Well, I'm happy Shauna.
I
won.
love this
Very
shirt for you,
happy.
Shauna.
Shauna, you've got not only our
You-
single barrel pick sample.
You know, Texas is coming to New England. There you go.
That's
Shauna.
right.
That's
You've
awesome.
got everything that we own from Still Austin, and it's a lot. And so, Andy, you have to pour some
That work?
Nancy picks and give them to me.
I will.
You've got quite a
I-
few.
I have a lot of Nancy picks.
When am I going to get that from you?
Hey, are you guys all the way done with your bottle?
No, but we're getting
this
close.
this is bottle number 3 for us.
We've drank 3 bottles already.
Yeah. So
Ugh. We've got half a bottle tonight. It's that good. What are you talking about?
this is great.
What have you done? Let me see what your bottle is.
Oh, are you puffing your chest
Yeah.
with them? Look at them. There's
We
only
can
2
drink
of
with them. We could
Same
drink
deal,
all night if
same
you
deal,
want to.
Same deal.
You may not want to. I did that at lunch.
Yes.
They're young and sprightly and have a good tolerance. I tried to hang in there.
Well, I want to
Well-
thank all of our Patreon members for supporting this pick and believing in us. And no, I can't wait for everyone. And I know some people have had it already, but when the masses get it, I can't wait to hear what they think about it. And I know they're going to love it. And thank you guys for making this happen. Andy, thanks for going down there. Way to go. You rock. Everybody rocks. Everybody rocks.
These
Everybody
guys
rock.
are my best friends.
What about me?
You didn't even high five them. You didn't even bother.
Well,
high
they didn't high five me. They're
No,
like they're
no,
like
they-
gone. They're like
Todd.
gone.
Todd,
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
you weren't even there. You weren't even there, Todd.
But I was there in spirit.
You
I was there in
You
spirit.
weren't even. Todd,
And
I felt
I
that.
helped
I
pick-
felt it. I felt it.
Best
Todd,
stream ever.
I can't
Todd,
argue that. I can't
you were-
argue that
Todd.
either. Yes.
you weren't even there.
God
We
damn,
love you.
but I wasn't
But you
there.
weren't even there.
Next time. So right.
Hey,
right
you know
time.
what though? Hey, Christian, you may not know this, but he's the brains behind the operation.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
He is. He is truly a real man of genius.
That's right.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Really, Really, Really Bad Dancer.
Mr. Really, really, really bad dancer.
Arm swinging, knees bending, head bobbing, to no particular rhythm. You're either dancing or you have fleas.
Call me a doctor.
As soon as you hit the dance floor, the taunts begin. Is that all you got, playa? Unfortunately, yes, that's all you got.
Pour it on now.
Who's in the house? Some guy who can't dance. That's who's in the house.
Your style.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Happy Feet, because you really put the oogie in boogie.
Mr. Really, really bad dancer.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out. Word to your mother.
My defense, I am here for the channel.
Claps. You're getting claps.
Oh,
Getting
God.
applause.
Todd, you gotta come down for the next one. My favorite
Am I
bit
fun or
of
what?
that whole video, that whole little stick slowly filming. It's
I
like
thought
fell
that-
down in some leaves. What was
Yeah.
that? Is that
Shut
real?
up, Pat.
Or was that
Shut
statement?
up, Pat. Well, listen, I hope I'm life of the party.
He's a good sport too.
I'm a good sport. And I like whiskey. So what's not to like about me? And I'm hairless. So what's wrong
He's
with
like
that?
a Cheshire cat.
I'm a Cheshire cat. We all
Mr.
like that.
Bigglesworth.
All right, so I think we guys, it's 11 o'clock. We've given away our samples. I think it's time to call it a night.
You sure I have
Yeah.
more video?
We
No.
just showed up an hour late, so
It's okay.
That's all right. All right, Eileen, I promise to end with it.
What?
See, the Andy, this is on me. This makes me
Jack,
look
what's
bad.
going on? Oh,
Don't worry, it's not.
can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I want to thank all of our Patreon members. You guys are why we have still Austin on and why we have this pick and this barrel. And I'm so proud and excited for you guys
Yeah.
to try it. I can't wait to hear what you think next week. So we'll be next week. We'll be talking about this pick. We'll have music involved, but thank every one of you guys for believing in us and supporting us, and more to come.
So, and Christian, Ryan, thank you both. Guys, stick around
Yes.
for 2 seconds. We're going to play this little clip. We're going to jump off. You guys hang with us for a second if you don't mind.
Thank you, Patreon members. Well done.
No, we appreciate it. Hold on, let me pull the clip they wanted for us to end.
Oh,
Here
what,
it is.
again to me?
This is where I look bad. Okay,
Oh, that's
so
good.
it's not
Let's
just
do
you.
this. And he's drunk here.
But until next time.
Oh, and there will be next time.
Cheers. And
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, guys.
We're never getting through this.
Wasn't ready for that.
Get yourself Jack here. What's wrong with you?
Fine. I also didn't have dinner.
Oh, you have dinner?
There's nothing in my stomach.
Oh my God. We drank 8 whiskeys.
I felt drunk after the first
Oh
beer.
my God. Jeez.
Is that center?
And barrel of beer. I don't even know at this point, Andy. We haven't gotten to that point. Come on, dude. Let's go. Finish this. This is important. Well, maybe it's not.
Do it still look high?
You do. You do. But let's go.
Okay. Where are we starting from?
Welcome back to 290.
Welcome back to
Yes.
I'm Andy, you're Todd.
Yes. Okay. And just go into it. Let's review FAO2.
Let's just do it.
Don't worry about 01. Say
Don't
we
worry
love the
about it.
01. Say the different.
I'm not worried about 01.
So drunk.
That was so springtime.
Fuck. God, we're never gonna do this. We've reached our limit, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if this is a good idea at this point.
We got one more to do. Come on, sit.
Okay, hold on.
Come on.
I'm trying.
There's a lot of whiskey over here.
This is too much.
Come on. We got